Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Monday, January 6th, 2025, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $, ORION NWSF, or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We have a special stream today. WWE Monday Night Raw debut on Netflix for the very first time. The show is rumored to be about 3 hours and 30 minutes, and I can't freaking wait. We got a new look, obviously, for Monday night streams. Usually I hit you guys with the kind of lighter white look. We're going to be going into the dark look for Monday Night Raw, and this is how it's going to look, obviously, for every Monday Night Raw live stream that we do. It took me a little while to make a thumbnail custom, but I think this one turned out pretty fucking good. Had to get the Netflix on there, had to put on my guys, Seth and Roman, the OTC, and I couldn't forget about one of my favorite females, Liv Morgan, the champ, down there at the bottom. I think this one turned out very, very good. And if you're a wrestling fan like me, I've been a fan since, the early 80s. I've been waiting for something like this to kind of bring us wrestling fans together. Obviously, with the NFL playoffs, there is no longer a Monday night game here today. There will be a Monday night playoff game next week. So we'll have to decide if we do Monday Night Raw week number 2, or if we end up doing the Rams and the Vikings. And we can maybe do a poll, or we can decide on what we want to do. But I'm very, very excited for this debut of a Monday Night Raw on Netflix for the very first time. And to commemorate some of the fun that we're going to end up having today throughout the stream, I'm going to actually bust out some of my toy collection. And anyone that knows me, I am one of the biggest collectors, not only on the Pacific Northwest, but on the West Coast. I'm a big card collector, toy collector, and I got a lot of wrestling figures in the package and out of the package from the 80s and current, just here on the desk. I got Junkyard Dog, I got Hulk Hogan, I got The Rock, I got Stone Cold, Ultimate Warrior, Big Boss Man, Andre the Giant, the Hulkster. I got the Bushwhackers, Luke and Butch, Roddy Piper. I got the original Shield figures here in the box. I got Macho Man. I got Hogan. I got a lot that I can actually kind of show. And I'm definitely excited for the opportunity to be able to watch with you guys here tonight. And again, we are going to get started here in less than 7 minutes. Let's go, baby. Let's get settled in. And I can't wait to be able to see what we get here on tonight's show, Monday Night Raw, debuting on Netflix here on January 6th. 2025. Let's go, baby. Man, I am juiced. I am ready. Let's go, baby. And I figured that they, may or may not do some kind of like pre-show leading into Monday Night Raw. But since this is on Netflix, they're just doing the countdown right now. And I've been sitting in the countdown room on Netflix for as long as they actually allowed you to. So I've been in here already for like almost 30 minutes. So I'm definitely excited, and I hope you guys are as well. We got a new dark look. We got the new thumb. We got, obviously, the wrestling fam together. And again, as we start to do these, my goal, obviously, during non-football season is to do this every single Monday moving forward. So if that's the case, or we try to do it as often as we can, but it will give us an opportunity to do 4 Monday Night Raws a month. Possibly, there'll be some months where we only do 2 or 3 because of other things that are going to be coming up, football or whatever. And then obviously we have the one PLE, the pay-per-view, the PLE, the Prime Live event that we can end up doing, obviously, once a month as well. So we have an opportunity to do as many as 5, wrestling streams in a month. And I have been dying for ages to be able to do something like this for the fan base and myself. I'm always watching Raw. I'm always watching SmackDown, NXT. I'm still watching a little AEW, even though the product isn't as good as WWE. I'm a huge, huge wrestling fan, and hopefully this show will deliver. And based on all the prep and all the commentary, Pat McAfee, Michael Cole, and everyone else, it looks like they're going to go above and beyond. Lighting with all the seats. It's going to be electric, and I can't wait to be able to get this one started. And we are getting very, very close. 5 minutes to go, less than 5 minutes, and we will be live for Monday Night Raw on Netflix for the very first time. Let's go, baby. I am ready. Let's get it. And I really am happy with the way that this thumb turned out. Like I said, I had to kind of be selective on who I decided to put on there. Had to obviously have the Netflix logo on there, but I had to go with my guys from the Shield, Seth and Roman. But then I figured, I gotta be able to put a female or two on there as well. And I couldn't think of a better one than Liv Morgan. Let's go, baby. Are you guys ready or what? Let's fucking go. And I'm all dripped from top to bottom in NWO. I got the NWO cutoff shirt underneath, black and white. I got the NWO, obviously Wolfpack, little limited edition jacket on as well. I am ready. Let's go, baby. I am stoked. And again, I got a lot of my wrestling figures that I pulled out. Some of them are very, very old. Like I even have a WCW figure in the package still with Macho Man and Hollywood Hogan, NWO, super rare. Most people, have WWE or WWF figures, but a very small percentage of wrestling collectors actually have WCW figures. They only ran for a short period of time. They're in the 90s, and I was lucky enough to be able to snag that up with the Macho Man and the Hogan. I'll be showing that a little bit later, and then I'll be showing off my favorite set, which is going to be my Shield Elite set when it first came out. And I got Roman, I got obviously Seth, and I got Dean Ambrose, a.k.a. John Moxley. So I'll be showing that on the stream as well. And my desk right now is cluttered with, literally, I don't want to say hundreds, but I mean, I got lots of figures here in front of me. Like I mentioned, Odin in the building, Matt in the building. I got Junkyard Dog. I got the Hulkster. I got The Rock. I got Stone Cold. I got Ultimate Warrior. I got Big Boss Man. I got Andre the Giant. I got Hollywood Hogan. I got Luke and Butch from the Bushwhackers. I got Roddy Piper. I got Diamond Dallas Page. I got NWO Scott Hall. I got the Outsiders. I got Kevin Nash. I mean, I got them all pulled out here for you guys here today, so that way you guys can really see what I'm about. And again, everyone knows me for doing the Seattle Mariners. Everyone knows me for the Oregon Ducks, as well as NFL coverage and a little bit of everything: basketball, baseball, football, hockey, etc. But a lot of people that know me, right? I'm a big wrestling fan. I've been watching wrestling and sports since 1985. I know I look young, but I started watching early when I was about 3 years old. So again, that love for the wrestling in the 80s, growing up with that era of the Hulk Hogan, Hulkamaniacs era, then transitioning into NWO and DX, and then obviously going into the Attitude Era and being Stone Cold and The Rock and The Undertaker, and then now obviously going into present day. Very, very exciting. Since Vince ended up getting pushed out, Triple H has done a fantastic job, and I can't wait to be able to have this not only start, but I can't wait to be able to have this as a regular thing on the channel. And for some of us like me and Odin, we've been kind of wanting like something like this for us to be able to get together and do for a long period of time. But since it's, on different services, cable, satellite, now it's starting to kind of come together with all of these streaming platforms. And again, my goal is to do every single Monday Night Raw, if possible. And if not, at least 3 out of 4 within the month. At the very minimum, 2 out of 4. When it's during football season, we're going to have to pick and choose to see if the matchup is worth doing or if we do Monday Night Raw instead. Either way, I'm going to be watching both things at the same time, but I'm very, very excited about the opportunities for wrestling fans to get together. And there's going to be some people that are going to be the regulars, the OGs, but we're also going to get some football fans that maybe we didn't know that we're into wrestling, and then we can get those people to be a part of the channel regularly on Monday night. But again, I got a lot of figures to be able to show you guys. Again, my favorite set, Stone Cold. Obviously, I have a Japanese Stone Cold, multiple heads, comes with beer cans and beer. That one is probably one of my favorites that I have, and I'll be showing that at one point. The Macho Man, Hollywood Hogan, WCW figure set. I got that. I pulled out my original Elite Figures series, the very first series of Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and Dean Ambrose. That was probably one of the hardest sets to be able to kind of put together, but I'm definitely excited. Reefer, let's go, baby. Lenny D in the building, Odin in the building, Matt in the building. But I figured what a better way to be able to, do this first time on Netflix. Okay, but I can actually show you guys a lot of the collection that I have. And you got to think, I've been collecting since the 80s. I'm 42. I started collecting when I was 3. So you can only imagine someone of my age and been collecting for about 40 years on the things that I'm going to have. You never know. You might end up seeing a junkyard dog from maybe the 80s, the thumb wrestlers from back in the day, right? This was a big, big thing for us as little kids, or I might even hit you with the Attitude Era with a very early Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, right? Or it might end up being another individual that I absolutely love growing up, and he's got the belt. It's an old school Stone Cold Steve Austin. And again, these are limited, these are rare, and a lot of these, if you have a lot of them, the money can add up, but it's not really about selling them. It's just to be able to have them as fans. But again, my childhood, obviously, with the Ultimate Warrior, one of my bigger big mans, right, with the Big Boss Man. Man, I am excited. And we are about to get started here as I have so many figures sprinkled here on the desk. Hopefully they don't get all knocked over. But again, can't wait to be able to show you guys some of the things that I've been collecting over the years. And again, I have some that are loose, but a majority of my collection is still in the package. Let's go, baby. And I got this new look, this new dark look. And this is going to be for Monday Night Live. Monday Night Raw live streams exclusively. So we're going to have this dark kind of approach, and I think it works really, really well because normally I end up doing kind of the lighter look. But I think this is a perfect look to be able to do Monday Night Raw. And again, this is going to bring wrestling fans together here on the channel, past and present. Let's go, baby. But yeah. It took a while for me to kind of bust out all the figures here with the Macho Mans and everything else. There's my boy Seth Rollins. Let's go. CM Punk, Seth Rollins, baby. Let's go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't helped your boy out just yet, please do. We'll be shooting for 20 likes within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall, 100 in the donos on every single stream. And based on some of the insiders, the rumor is that the show is going to be 3 hours and 30 minutes. Obviously, they're not going to have to worry about any cutoff times. The people that are overseas in Europe are fortunate enough not to have any commercials. So we're going to end up having some commercials or some filler stuff in between. I know Triple H is going to come out here and he's going to do a little speech kind of going over the breakdown and the history of the WWE. And that might end up taking, 5 or 10 minutes. But we are in LA. We are on the West Coast and we are ready. Let them know, baby. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's go. I had to hit you up. Let's go, baby. Good to see you. Sarah in the building. What's good? Oh, baby. Your Vader merch. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Let's go. Yeah, and they already said that Triple H was going to kick it off, so it's not if he's going to kick it off. They already have advertised that he's going to go over an introduction, and I don't know how long it's going to be, but they'll have some promo videos, and he'll go out here and speak and get the crowd fucking hyped up, and they got lighting on all the chairs. It's going to be a pretty special performance. And again, I hope you guys like my background. Took me quite a while to figure out which one I wanted to use. I thought this one looked the most fire. And then obviously hitting you with the Seth Rollins, the Roman Reigns, and the Liv Morgan. I think this one turned out fantastic. Let's go. And this will be the thumb that we use for Raw streams moving forward as well. Let's go. Historic, to say the least. Absolutely. Man, I couldn't barely sleep last night. I know for some people, they don't give a shit about, wrestling or Monday Night Raw, but, I was kind of like itching to make the thumbnail all day. I was like, I wanted to, spend that quality time with Paisley and whatnot. But I love this. Look at the Roddy Piper, the Macho Man. I mean, there's Ultimate Warrior, pretty much all the people that I was mentioning in the figures that I got. Hey, it don't matter, what age you are. I mean, again, things like wrestling figures will never die. They're always going to be popular, like Legos, G.I. Joes, Transformers, Ninja Turtles. But it's one of those things with wrestling figures. They're never going to stop making them. It's always going to be something that's going to be popular. And it's been a big part of our childhood, right? And again, even to this day, at being 42 years old, I still collect them. Now, I don't collect them as often as I did when I was younger, but if I do see a piece that I like, I will put in a bid, or I'll try to be able to find something special. But again, I got Roddy, I got Luke and Butch, I got Hogan, I got Andre the Giant, Big Boss Man, Ultimate Warrior, Stone Cold Rock, Hogan, we got the Junkyard Dog, we got all the figures here ready, and I'm ready for this. Let's go. Sweet intro. I got to turn the volume up. Fuck yeah, man. Exciting, dude. Let's go. 3.5 hours. And that's probably what we're going to get, I would assume, most of the time if there's no restrictions. You know, why cut it off at 3:02 or 3:05 if we can go 3 hours and 30 minutes? Now, 4 hours, that might be too long, but, you know, I think 3 hours, you know, in 10 minutes, 3 hours and 20, 3 hours and 30, that's perfect, especially if you end up having a match in a main event, you know, and it goes a little long and whatnot, but it'll give an opportunity for some extra matches, extra promos, and just extra behind the scenes. I fucking can't wait, man. Hope everyone is rocking their favorite WWE or WWF classic gear. I'm ready, baby. Odin Sun with a tenner to get us started off. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Hell yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. We're at 1090 to go, baby. And we'll get some photos up once we get into a point where there's a commercial or something else going through. And I appreciate the share there for you, Reefer, as well. Let's go, baby. And again, this isn't going to be like a one-off thing. I am going to even do this over sometimes Monday Night Football. So.
In this moment, and this is the moment, all of you are being seen and heard by the entire globe.
Man, this is sweet. This is sweet. You know, being able to bring fans together, and man, this is going to be so awesome.
That this is the WWE, and we are louder than anything you have ever seen before.
Let's go. And Triple H is such a good talker, you know, obviously on the mic from when he was a wrestler. It makes it so smoothless and seamless, you know, when he's on the mic. It's fantastic. Ready. Yeah, there's going to be a shitload of ads. They've already shown like the ring aprons, and it's going to be insane because obviously it's all money tied. But what are you going to do? Hell yeah, baby. Hell yeah, you got to bust out the fucking pyro on like a motherfucker on the very first one. Hell yeah, I wish I was there, but I'm actually happy I'm with you guys here, you know. Again, I've been dreaming of a scenario like this for us to be able to come together more than just once a month for the PLEs. And this past year, they had so many overseas and at weird times that I apologize. I had to miss some of them to do Oregon Duck games or, you know, take care of Paisley or just to watch it myself and not able to stream it. But hopefully we're going to have, you know, more in America. And if they do have them overseas to make that cheddar, you know, the timing will be a little bit better, but I'm really going to try to do as much as I can. So the most that we're going to do in a month will be 5, a PLE and 4 Monday Night Raws. And then who knows, maybe we'll end up doing SmackDown one day, you know, if they end up being on a platform like this on Netflix as well. Do you think Netflix will be able to get SmackDown once that contract is up? Do you think we'll be able to have that as well? Because once that happens, then we'll be doing SmackDown live streams too. So can't wait. But we'll take Monday Night Raw for now. Let's go, baby. You already know what it is. Vintage rock, baby. Hell yeah. Let's go. The fucking High Chief all fucking ready. I got the vintage 1996 a WWF figure and a fucking shitloads of other ones. Let's go. Anyone think that Paul Heyman and The Rock are working together? There's been some kind of subtleties, you know, and obviously, you know, we'll see where the storyline goes, but it wouldn't really shock me at one point or another, you know, down the road if we're going to see The Rock and Heyman link up. Let's go, baby. The final boss, baby. I mean, this is what you're in LA, right? Obviously, he's already been in town for a couple days. And, you want to make sure you started off with a bang. I mean, what's going to get the fans more out of their seats rather than The Rock? Or maybe if they had Stone Cold and that glass broke, oh, the motherfuckers would have just lost it. But again, even with no Stone Cold with the glass breaking, having The Rock come out and he's been a little bit more, present, because Stone Cold's knees are obviously shot and he's older, but The Rock can still wrestle. He may not be the same wrestler that we watched, with Rocky Maivia and obviously with the Nation of Domination and all these runs that he's had. But he's shown that even though he's a little older, he's in more shape, than really almost anybody on planet Earth, especially if you're willing to wake up at 3, 4 a.m., even at this age. What an electric stud, The Rock. Let's go, baby. Hell yeah. Let's go. What you guys think about the dark look on the channel instead of going light? And what do you guys think about the thumb? Did it turn out good for you guys? I think it did. Like I said, it took me a while to make it, but I think that it turned out exactly what my vision was this morning. So hope you guys love it. Hope you guys love the background and the new look for the Monday Night Live streams here on Monday Night Raw. We got Pat McAfee. We got Michael Cole. We got Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, the final boss. Let's go, baby. Let's go. See, when you're old, when you got these, right? Nobody is about this life, right? Unless you know what you know about the 1985 thumbs, the thumb wrestlers, Hogan, Junkyard Dog. Oh, baby. I've been waiting to bust out some of this stuff for you guys for quite some time, but I had to kind of wait for the proper timing of it all. And it's kind of gives me flashbacks of my childhood as well. And obviously Junkyard Dog's eyes are missing because he got smashed so many times. You can't even see the pupils. Top of his head is all smashed up. Hogan's knee pads are almost all gone. But, man, these are some memories from my childhood. Let me tell you. Fucking sweet. Let's go, baby. The thumb wrestlers. Let's go. Yes. Yeah, and if you got anything else that you want to send me wrestling-wise, please do. Yeah, I got some Cena stuff still sealed. Like I got Cena headband sealed from his prime to a show that I went to, and I got the wristband still sealed up in the plastic. Maybe one day I can send those to you, Lenny, because I know you would appreciate it more than me. I got them as a collector, but you love John Cena. And, I'm more of a Rock, Stone Cold kind of guy and whatnot. I have other, wrestlers that I like a little bit more than Cena. But, again, that might be something that I could maybe send your way because I think you would get a lot of appreciation out of it, whether that you put it on and you wear it when we're watching the shows and you got the headband on, right, and the little wristbands. I had a flag that went with it, too, but I gave it to a kid at the show, so. Let's go.
Years ago, when The Rock was a little rock, little pebble, I used to travel these highways all across this country with my dad, WWE Hall of Famer. He's in heaven now, the soul man, Rocky Johnson.
Rocky Johnson, baby.
The only way to watch WWE was either buy a ticket or you watched it on Saturday morning.
Man, Saturday morning was a big thing for me, too.
But watching it now is a total different story.
Absolutely.
Because right now, around the world, you're watching it on Netflix. And by the way, let me just take a moment to say that tonight here in Los Angeles in the Intuit Dome, live on Netflix, we're making history.
Damn right.
This tonight is the largest arena gate in the history of the WWE. Congratulations.
Let's go. Oh, for real? Nice. Finally.
The WWE has come back to Netflix. You guys are like, no, that's bullshit. Get to the real one. Well, here it comes. Man, I'm saying that loud and proud. It's a special night. Finally,
has come back. Angeles. Yeah, there's going to be all kinds of new camera angles as well. They're going to have like drone shots, above shots, backstage stuff. They're going to be pulling out all the ropes based on everything that I read. Yeah, no bleeping, man. I fucking love it.
right now, there's Ted Sarandos, Bella Majaria, and Greg. Where are you guys at? Where are they? Are they up in? They're somewhere up there. You guys up there? All right.
It's just kind of cool to be able to bring everybody together as wrestling fans.
Somebody else here want to acknowledge before we get this show on the road. There's a man who The Rock has spilled blood with, spilled his blood all across this country. Willing to do it again. We're ready to do it again.
We got John Cena coming out next. John Cena? John Cena? Or is it someone else? No, not John Cena.
He has done an amazing job.
Roman Reigns?
Thank you, brother.
Who? Cody Rhodes? Britt in the building. What's good? Cody.
Cody Rhodes, one more thing. Tell Mama Rhodes The Rock said hello.
Oh, shit. Tell Mama Rhodes. I say, what's up? Roman. You know what it is, baby. Let's go. Seth, Roman, Liv. You know what I did.
Not only is Roman Reigns the tribal chief, but he is the original tribal chief.
Ellen, you got to get Netflix. Do a trial. Get a password from a friend.
Tonight, tribal combat rules, Solo versus Roman. The Rock is going to be watching. The world is going to be watching. The Rock, proudly, is a High Chief of Samoa, High Chief Suli.
Now I don't know if either one of you, Britt or Ellen, if you guys have T-Mobile. I used to have Sprint, but if you have a T-Mobile, they actually will give you Netflix and Apple TV Plus for free with your plan. You just have to turn it on, through the app. And I didn't know that for a while. Let them know, Rock. But if any of you have T-Mobile and you go through the app, you can get Netflix and Apple TV Plus free with your phone plan. You just have to turn it on. So Rocky. Cooking. Let's go. Oh, you got Verizon? Oh, okay. Just trying to help you guys out. But this will be something that we're going to do, every Monday, unless we have Monday night football. But depending on if the matchup is worth doing or not, we may end up doing Raw over Monday night football. I'll end up watching both things at the same time. But, being able to get more wrestling on the channel has always been a goal of mine. Hell, I even created another sub channel, Northwest Wrestling Fanatics. So one day, once we get this channel to the point where I'm content and established, that I can start doing content on that channel, and that'll be the secondary channel to this channel. But again, that won't be for quite some time. But obviously, I still got the name and the channel under my belt. But again, can't wait to be able to see where this show goes. Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Let's go, baby. Yeah, and there's plenty of links that you can go to stream it as well. So. Let's go, baby. Solo already. They're going here early with this, man. You want to go out with a bang, though, right? And again, I love heels, and I know a lot of people, are going to be on the OG bloodline and maybe not for the current bloodline, but I know there's some people in the room that appreciate this, Solo led bloodline, even though it might not be the OG one. Heels are always what makes wrestling fantastic. Being a face, that can carry you over depending on who you are. Rock, Cena, Seth Rollins. There's going to be certain people that can, do both. Cody Rhodes. But obviously Solo much better as a heel, and I can't wait to see what we get here today. Yeah, this is a vintage NWO Wolfpack jacket, baby. The most historic night I've ever been a part of. I'm my partner for the Pat McAfee show, ESPN House Game Day. I got black and white, and I got Wolfpack, baby. Yeah, it's probably one of my favorite wrestling, jackets that I have. I mean, I got a satin NWO black and white jacket as well. And I usually, if I wear them, to like the grocery store once in a blue moon, I always will, someone will always come up to me or say something. It's like if you get wrestling fans that are hardcore, especially if you grew up, in the 80s or 90s, and you're familiar with that, then. Let's go, baby. Thank you. I appreciate it. I like the color scheme on it too. And the reason I like this NWO Wolfpack jacket so much, because back in like the 80s and 90s, they had a kind of a style of like skater jackets and hoodies that would have just like little print, all over of whatever it was. And so this one has all kinds of NWO and For Life all over it. And I love that type of style of the jackets that, the rappers and the skaters would wear back in the day. And obviously, into wrestling, if you can make, something like that, that brings me that type of vibe. Obviously, I'm going to buy it. And then I definitely had to scoop this up. I always love the jackets that have the little small icons with the prints all over. It just fucking looks fire. Very stylish. I mean, I put him on the thumb, didn't I? I got Seth, I got the OTC, and I got Liv Morgan. I mean, what's better than that? Nothing. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Scott Hall is one of my all-time favorites. And, I've told this story before. I only have cried a couple times in my life because, a lot of the wrestlers that I grew up watching, they have died to steroids or drugs or alcohol or a number of the combination of those things, right? Heart attack or, abusing their bodies and putting too much steroids in there or having addictions. But I think there's only been really 2 times that it's really got to me, when a guy died that was one of my favorites. Number 1, right, is Randy Macho Man Savage and Elizabeth. And then number 2 was Scott Hall. Scott Hall, obviously, as far as NWO members, he's always going to be my favorite. And I got the vintage Scott Hall. Come on, man. You know it, baby. Rest in peace. That's my guy, the bad guy, Scott Hall. These ones are sweet, too. You squeeze the legs and then the arms move. And you already know I got the other outsider. I got the vintage Kevin Nash. Let's go, baby. They don't make wrestling figures like that anymore. The Toy Biz, where you could squeeze the legs and then the bodies move. Those, to me, those are the best figures that you can get, regardless if it's Marvel, DC, or wrestling or anything. I just love the ones where you squeeze, something, the legs or the arms, and then it moves. I feel like those type of toys are undefeated. And I got a vintage Roman Reigns, the Elite Series, and this is Series 26, and they're over 100 now. This is the business right here. I had to go to Toys R Us for this fucking figure for every day for 2 months before I could find it. Oh, my shit was about to fall over. I got too many collectibles out here. Tell them. Oh, Bone Crunch. Those are fire too. Yeah, Mankind with duct tape, no doubt. Big Papa Pump, holla if you hear me. But I remember going to Toys R Us every day, and I ended up getting the Dean Ambrose and the Seth Rollins. I got those within the first 2 weeks when they dropped. But that Roman was so rare. They only had a shipment once or twice a month, and they would only get 1 or 2 figures, and I would have to try to get mint ones. So, Ooh, the Fuck You Solo already coming out. Okay, baby. The Netflix era has begun. I love it. But again, going every day for 2 months, I finally ended up, finding 2 when they dropped, and one kid tried to fucking Gronk spike the other one. So luckily I ended up getting the mint one, and that one is probably my favorite set as far as old Elite figures, since they're on, I don't even know what Elite figure number they're on. Someone may be able to look that up to be able to see, but I assume that we're over 100 on the Elites, and that's Elite, 26. So right at the very beginning of when they the Shield got together. So yeah, I miss Samantha too.
Hey, that's great. You're the chefs. Working the steak. Maybe you just need a Snickers.
And then I got this one here. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but see if we get it over here. So vintage WCW figure, Macho Man and Hogan NWO. WCW figures, not very many people have them, and most people don't have them in the package still, but I had to invest.
Fresh sliced meat, fresh chopped veggies, vinaigrette, plus chips and drink. You got the perfect lunch at the perfect price. Your coworker went with the $17 salad.
Yeah, but for an investment of about $20 each for the Roman, the Seth, and the Dean Ambrose now, each one is worth about like 50 to 75. And then if you have mint ones, they could go for even more. So, for both of those, I mean, if you're looking at mint figures, you're probably looking at, probably 150 to 175 bucks for the set because most people don't have mint ones. And that's pretty good for only spending $60, way back in the day. So that one was cool. And then obviously my Japanese Stone Cold Steve Austin. That one might be one of my favorites of all time just because it has 4 different heads, different expressions, multiple hands, a belt, and then it comes with 2 beer cans with beer coming out. And then you can actually put, the beer cans as if he's chugging the beer and pose the figure that way. It's still in the box. I've never opened it. It's about $100 figure. But again, the creativity to have beer and beer cans, with a Stone Cold figure, brilliant. Why didn't someone in America think of that? But again, that one I ended up scooping up years ago, and I absolutely love it. See if I can find it here. I think I got it somewhere here in the studio. Let me see if I can grab it.
Now taxes, it's getting a TurboTax now. If you file your taxes yourself, 100% free if you didn't file with us last year.
All right, let's see here. All right, so this is the Japanese Stone Cold Steve Austin. You can't really see all the heads. You can see the other head there. But then on the back, you can see where it's got the beer cans and then the beer coming out. So you can pose it, right? As him doing the stunner, but you can also pose it him drinking the beer. What the fuck is cooler than that? Beer cans with a wrestling figure? Oh, man, undefeated. I'm ready, baby. The big boss man is ready. Andre the Giant is ready. Man, this just brings me back to my childhood. Man, here we go. OTC solo right out of the gates. What a way to start it off. Let's go. Yeah, if you wanna follow me on there, I got one on there. It's usually kind of personal, and stuff. But if you want to follow me, I'll follow you back, Lenny. But again, you got to think, I'm 42. I've been collecting wrestling memorabilia, figures and everything since, I was like 3-4 years old. So you can only imagine how many, loose figures and figures in the package I have. I mean, and again, I love the NFL. I love football. I love, baseball. I love sports in general, but wrestling sometimes for me is at the very top, even sometimes over college football and the NFL, believe it or not. I love the Mariners. I love Ken Griffey Jr. I love Julio. I love the NFL. I love college football. I love my Bucks and my Ducks, right? But sometimes, that love for that wrestling, man, sometimes it's at the very top for me. And I know it is for some of y'all as well. Yeah, I think for the Netflix era, I think I would have rather had red mat, or if you were going to do a black mat, more red sprinkled in and maybe red ropes and whatnot. Obviously we'll have to see, how they do it each time. Like when they had the NXT era with the black and yellow with Adam Cole, that was, Undisputed Era was like, that was the best era for NXT color wise, and then Raw can sprinkle in the black and the red ropes. They went white today. And then obviously SmackDown, blue apron or blue ropes. I mean, they can kind of go back and forth on what they want to do rope wise and apron wise or turnbuckle wise. But it would be, I think, a little bit better if it was a little bit more colorful. But maybe they want the ads to be able to show up. And that's why they didn't go with red or, for the apron in this particular one. So that way that the ads could pop a little bit. based on, whoever's paying, to be able to support here today. God, look how many ads are on there. It's fucking insane. All over that, Matt. Wrestling is nostalgia for sure. But like I said, it's always going to be at the top or very, very near the top, with, my football love and my baseball love and NASCAR love. NASCAR's up at the top for me too. Megan in the building, a non-wrestling fan, but still supporting. I appreciate you. $20 holla. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. Had to debut a brand new look to the channel, obviously with a dark mode. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Once we get done with some of the matches, I can end up sprinkling in some photos for Odin and Megan. And then I had to hit you with the Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and Liv Morgan. Let's go, baby. Thank you so much for your support. We're at 30, 70 to go. And for the people that donated, Odin and Megan, if you want to put in photo-wise what you would like to see, and obviously it doesn't have to be wrestling related, since I know Megan isn't a fan of wrestling, but just wants to support, and that means a lot. When you get people that aren't into that particular event that you're doing, but still just want to be a part, of the stream or say hello and show some love, and I appreciate that very much. Ooh, what a move by Solo there. Ooh, Apple Watch. Which one did you decide to get? There's so many options for Apple Watches. I don't own one, but I know friends that have them. Oh, Solo to the head to Roman Reigns, and he is done. And with Monday Night Raw being on Netflix, every time that they're going to be doing this, it's going to feel like a PLE, and it's going to bring people together. And that's the thing that I love the most, being able to bring sports fans that like NASCAR, baseball, football, basketball, hockey, whatever it may be, UFC, boxing, and we can come together and we can hang out, on Mondays when we don't have football, or maybe even when we do. If the football matchup is shitty, we can always lean to this as an alternative. We have the Rams and Vikings on next week for the playoff game, so we'll probably do that one instead of Raw week number 2 on Netflix. But, after that playoff season is over, then we'll be pretty much doing Raw on, Mondays moving forward. Unless, like the Mariners are on down the road, but we'll pick and choose. But I'm definitely going to want to try to do this as often as we can to build more of an audience. So, yeah, I saw that you guys fired Mayo already. Yeah, Grubb got fired as the OC, which was kind of head shaking too. It's like, what do you expect out of 1 year? Like, the offensive line for the Hawks is terrible. Did you think like Grubb was the problem? Schneider needs to go, but he keeps getting scapegoats, and it's all these different OCs that get hired, and then they're the ones that get fired, not him. He's the one that needs to go. So Grubb being fired isn't going to solve the problem, but wishful thinking. But hopefully that O-line will be better for Seattle in this new regime. And then for Gerard Mayo, 1 year, you're not going to be able to turn it around in fucking 1 year. There's barely any talent that's on the team. There, Ramondre Stevenson, Demario Douglas, Drake May. I mean, it's very, very limited. Judon, they let him go, and then he ended up going on to the Falcons. So it's like the team is a bare bone team for New England. And again, if they want to bring in Vrabel, that's not going to solve the fucking problem. Going from one former player to another former player. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't think Robert Kraft is delusional as Jerry Jones, but I mean, you got to give a guy more than a fucking year. But if that's the direction that he wants to go, and I think the main reason they fired Mayo is that Kraft 110% wants Vrabel, and that's going to be your new coach. And he didn't want Vrabel to get a job somewhere else, so they fired Mayo immediately. So that way that, Vrabel knows that they're serious and that he has the option to go there, as a former player and to be the head coach if he wants to. And obviously firing Mayo early rather than late will, give them a chance to sign that particular coach. Now, I don't think Vrabel is going to be able to turn that team around. He'll just be another guy that will last a year or two, and then they'll fire him and then try to go for someone else. But I don't know what teams expect, after 1 year with an OC like Grubb for Seattle or Mayo as a head coach for a year, but a year is not long enough, but again, it's what have you done for me lately type of league, but that's a little ridiculous. But, it is what it is, I guess. Yeah, ads during the match. Come on. Like, I know it's Netflix and whatnot, but can we do ads like after the match is over? And that's what I was noticing is that in Europe, they don't have ads. So they're going to be able to watch all the matches, the pre-match, the post-match, all the stuff that we're missing. They're getting to watch and we don't. And obviously that's probably a part of the deal, and maybe Netflix at some point will be able to go split screen, and obviously the advertisers want big screen, but maybe they can come to a compromise where they can do split screen, half and half, and show the ad, or at least see a little screen of what's going on. They should definitely not be going away from the match, even if they're just rolling around in the ring or rolling on the outside, catching their breath. Us as fans, we don't want to miss any move that happens during a commercial break. So not ideal. As Reefer pointed out, but hopefully, things will change in the future. This is the first episode, on Monday Night Raw on Netflix. So,
17,000 here tonight in the Intuit Dome in Los Angeles, California. As Solo Sikoa, Roman Reigns, make no mistake about it, that he's the tribal chief.
yeah. Well, plus when you get a guy that's kind of young that looks like, the players, again, a lot of times you need that kind of grandpa father figure, to gain the respect, unless it's someone that's actually won something. But when you get someone that kind of looks around the same age of the players, roughly, hard to be able to gain the respect and the command of the team if they don't actually like you or are willing to listen to you, especially with all those guys that have egos. So shows you it's like sometimes you need that Bill Belichick, that discipline, where they might have gotten rode hard, but they ended up getting results. So it didn't just go in one ear, out the other. So big headbutt there by Solo to Roman. Yeah, but hopefully they don't do a whole lot of commercials during the matches, or they're like limited. I know they have sponsorship and there's a lot of money involved, but again, there should never be commercials during the match. You can do them before, you can do them after, you could do it during an intro, or as they're leaving the ring, but not during the key moments of the match. Come on, Netflix. Come on, Triple H. Oh. Ooh. I love that. Do you have this Vader? That Vader is fire. Ooh, the new Bray. Do you have these? Oh man, those are awesome. The Ultimate Collection and Ringside Collectibles are fucking insane with figures. I don't own too many of those types of figures, but they are expensive, but they always give you the most heads and accessories and hands and belts and clothes. Fucking sweet, dude. Those are sweet. Thank you for sharing that. Those are awesome. I'm a big Vader guy too. Miss Bray a lot. I'm a big Vader, Bam Bam Bigelow. The bigger guys. Again, you have like the skinny guys and the medium build guys, but the Mankinds, the Vaders, the Bam Bam Bigelows. That's my ish from back in the day. Roman with the chair here. Oh, low blow. What a choke slam.
It is quite the night, January 11th, 1993.
Yeah, Topanga.
For 1,679 episodes, Monday Night Raw was on cable television until tonight. This is episode 1,650 of the longest running weekly episodic television show in history, live now on Netflix. Live now, 80% of the planet Earth.
Kind of crazy that they opened with this, but you usually, are going to open or end with, the best match. And then the first match is usually the second best match of the night. But sometimes it ends up being the best match of the night, to set the tone and get the crowd into it. Solo pulling out a table. And Solo makes a perfect heel. We've seen Roman as a heel forever and ever and ever. And then now kind of being like a face. It works, with the Usos and Sammy and everything. But, again, every single wrestler, when they are a heel, you get the most out of them. Athletically, promo-wise, on the microphone. Like, I feel that we have more memorable moments when a wrestler is a heel rather than they're a face. Even John Cena, to me, his most memorable moments were in the beginning. Word Life in the very beginning. Not that when his face run, when he was doing Make-A-Wish was bad, but I think that, the original John Cena to me was the most entertaining with the raps and the throwback jerseys, the Mitchell and Ness, and then if they would have had him be the leader of the NWO, maybe in 2010, 2011, 2012, if they ended up doing kind of like a rebirth there and he was the leader, it would have worked. And then, obviously, he could have ended up being the same type of thing that Hogan was, going from that baby face to the super heel, and it would have been incredible. But again, with the whole Make-A-Wish thing, you wouldn't have John Cena say, fuck the kids, and all that. And I don't care about anybody else. It's all about me and in that. But would have been interesting if they would have went down that path. I imagine it was discussed, but, oh, kendo stick right to the head to Roman. I see you, Solo. No, keep me updated. What's going on? I sent you a message last night, but I think you were sleeping. But the NASCAR Greatest Races was on from 2003, and then I sent you that little screenshot of Jeff Gordon in the pit. Ended up watching that last night. It was awesome. They had Bill Elliott was in there. Chase's dad was in like the top 10 for a good chunk of that race too. It's pretty cool. Cody could definitely work as a heel. It's just that they promoted him as a face of the company. He definitely could be heel, and if he's heel, he could end up being very, very good at it. Again, it just depends on how long you've been watching, Cody Rhodes with the evolution of him as a wrestler. Regardless if it's in the Stardust era, way, way, way back in the day, and obviously knowing his dad, Dusty Rhodes as well, or his brother, obviously Goldust. But Cody, I think that, he's been portrayed in such a babyface light, but that's what would make it so dope if they ended up going dark and going heel. Colton is sick again. Wow, through the table. Seth and Punk main event. Good. Yeah, but the thing is that they do love him now, but then there would have to be another baby face, that would have to take over, for them to be able to, to boo him and cheer someone else, Oh, Jacob Fatu, for his body size to do that top rope, athleticism, with the moonsault. It's one of the prettiest moonsaults in general, regardless of his body size, but just because he's so big, it's so clean. Yeah, but it really just depends on, who they decide to make the face, but it would have to be someone big like a Roman, a Seth, or some other wrestler to catapult and take over that, number one face spot. 2. But again, they said the same thing for Hulk Hogan, and again, you already know when you're over that it's okay. You can still get cheers as a heel. It's like NWO was getting cheered when they were supposed to get booed because they were just dope. Wolfpack or NWO. And from Hogan to go from the Hulkamaniacs to the Hollywood Hogan, obviously that changed everything. And, that's when you're like super over. It's like when you're supposed to be bad and you're supposed to be a heel and you're supposed to get booed, but then they still cheer for you. And they were getting more cheers than like Goldberg and, Roddy Piper and Sting and all those people. So sometimes, things will backfire if you end up having that swagger and then you have that, microphone skills and that vibe like the NWO did and DX did at that time period. Solo says, bring him up. Oh, shit, Sammy. Let's go. Love me some Sammy. Cody with Dom. Yeah, that would do it. That would do it. That would definitely be a good angle, at some point or another. And he could always be like, I don't care about, my brother's legacy, my dad's legacy. He could pretty much be like, fuck everybody. It's just me. You can go heel. It's just a matter of how you go about it and who you match up against to get that particular position. Love me some Sami Zayn, one of the more underrated wrestlers in WWE. Great wrestler and great on the mic. They need an official here. There we go. Here we go. Two. Yeah. I mean, like Rock, being a face or a heel, Stone Cold face or heel, regardless on what it was. I mean, unless we're talking about the early part of Rock's career when he was like Rocky Maivia and he was a face, but they didn't like that. Then he joined the Nation of Domination and then he was more loved. And then he went on his own run and then it kind of went to another level. This is awesome. Oh, shit. Okay, Sammy. Ooh. Ah. Oh, KO out of nowhere. Oh, my. With the stunner, too. Oh, my. Oh, my. Two. Yeah, but again, if you're going to go heel, that's the type of thing that you would have to do, go drastic, to make it believable. But any wrestler can go from face to heel, heel to face, Oh, shit. Speaking of, with the suit and all. Man, this is getting, they're definitely putting out all the stops here. Raw on Netflix, baby. Cody Cutter, baby. Let's go. Heck yeah. This would be an amazing show to be at if I was like rich. Oh, gut punch there to KO. Shout out to every single person in the room hanging out with your boy. Oh, countered. Solo. Countered. Spear. Let's go, baby. And after Roman being a heel for so long, when we don't really have Brock Lesnar around anymore, again, it just depends on who you are and what point of your career that you're in, Ooh, ah. And remember, once Roman left, we started missing him. It's like, oh, God, the bloodline. There we go, baby. Ring the bell. But again, we got so sick and tired of the bloodline and Roman, having the belt for a year, 2 years, 3 years. It seemed like it was never going to end. And then once he left, right, and then Cody ended up getting the belt, we started to miss him because wrestling just wasn't the same without him on TV. Whether you're rooting for him or to win, rooting for him to lose, or whatever scenario it is, when you have top-tier talent, you want them on TV, to either root for him to win, root for him to lose, or just to see what fucking happens next. Facts. Okay, baby. Yeah. Yeah, but Roman and Brock gave Cody the flowers in return as well. But, it's like when you end up being the top dog and you're on TV and you're the face of, again, everything. Oh, and here comes The Rock. I'm very curious if we're going to have The Rock and Paul Heyman working together. And then Heyman will turn his back on Roman. And then Heyman will be in The Rock's corner for this run. Because, if you've noticed little subtle things that, Heyman is saying and doing as well as The Rock, like I could definitely see that, because we already know that he's been with CM Punk. We already know he's been with Brock Lesnar. We know he's been with Roman, right? But, not that my ESP is always going to be correct on everything, but Paul Heyman linking himself to The Rock would make sense and it would make things interesting. Everything looks all casual and calm. But when is The Rock going to hit him with the rock bottom and the people's elbow? Like, it just kind of feels like it's going to happen at some point or another. Maybe tonight, maybe not tonight, but. And anytime you end up having people like link up as a tag team or, as like, partners, there's always an opportunity for that person to turn his back, on that other individual. I think it's almost a matter of time before The Rock does Roman dirty and Heyman will line up with The Rock. I just have a feeling that it's going to happen at some point. Not tonight, but foreshadowing at some point. Don't be surprised if that happens. It wouldn't surprise me one bit. Good Monday Night Raw on Netflix so far. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Let's keep track of the likes in the chat as well as the donos if we can. It'd be greatly appreciated. And it looks like we need 7 more to get to 20. So if you haven't smashed the like button yet and we've been just into this fucking Monday Night Raw, I don't blame you. But if you have a chance, if you haven't done it yet, please do. And I got a couple more of y'all to do that. Now we only need 5 more to get to 20. Good start. And we're at 30 on the dono train. Now, I'm not sure if Megan is still in the room. Megan, are you still in the room? Odin? And if you guys want photos, this would be a good time for us to be able to drop some photos down regardless on what they are in between the matches or during commercials. So. And I'm loving this. I am loving this. Okay. You let me know whenever you're ready a little bit later, and then I'll get you some. I'm going to be here for another 2 hours and 30 minutes. So I'm going to be here for quite some time. And then Odin, you got anything that you want to see? CM Punk and Seth Rollins main event. That's going to be fucking lit. But Odin, you want some Vader? You want some Bam Bam Bigelow? You want some of the vintage guys? You let me know what you're thinking, and I got you, man. You let me know. Junkyard Dog. Hogan. Let's go, baby. Yeet, yeet, yeet. Yeah, well, both of them are huge. Both of them are football players. So Georgia Tech for Roman Reigns and the U, for the University of Miami Hurricanes for The Rock. So anytime you get a lot of those guys, there's usually football in their background. Brock Lesnar, playing football, being on the Vikings for a little bit, so a lot of the big guys that are in wrestling do definitely have a football background, and it shows. Coco Beware. Nice choice. I don't have a Coco Beware figure, but I remember, I think one of my friends did back in the day. That would be a cool one to have back in the day with the parrot and whatnot. Good choice.
Teammates ain't cool. Wait, who'd you think you got? Wallace. Man, his nose is always whistling, and the other when he's nervous. I was talking about the video game. Chatting with a live H&R Block tax expert. It makes doing our taxes online so easy. There's also this AI tax assist for help whenever you need it.
I think I need it.
Do your own taxes online with H&R Block and get unlimited expert help for free.
Hey, Ryan's here for, I guess, my 100th.
Let's go, baby.
No.
Monday Night Raw live on Netflix, and I got multiple ones. See, I got this Raw logo, right, for Netflix. I got this Raw logo that we can use, and then obviously the one that I wanted to use live on Netflix. I thought that one would be the most, the most appropriate for this particular show.
Still $50 left. So.
Right on that production. Oh, that reminds me. You noticed my after party? We missed it. Want me to rewind? It's so helpful, Steven. I think it's like a good margarita recipe. Oh, it's twisted. Hey, can I come? Listen to anybody. Probably wants my spam. Great cocktail. Perfect. Still legal. I'm going to tell you shit up. Please stop. Smooth as an edge.
A 3 charter limit. Can you explain, like, what that's going to mean, how that's going to affect NASCAR next year? Educate me, Britt. Tito Santana there on the left. Let's go, baby. Oh, so they don't want any other teams to have 4. They want to try to keep it with 3-card teams, and no one can get as many, but they're not going to have. I mean, once you have 4, you can't go back to 3. So interesting. And why are they doing that? Yeah, we're going to see Penta at some point too. Cierto miedo, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever, a traditional Royal Rumble is heading outside of North America, heading overseas. Next year, January 2026, the Royal Rumble comes to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, part of the WWE experience. But we got a Royal Rumble coming up in 3 weeks in Indianapolis, Indiana. But tonight, Royal Rumble is presented by Ricket.
Let's go.
Reliable into my
Well, we haven't had any buffering, so that's good. I think the only complaint that we can say so far, right? The show has been amazing. Everything has been good, but the commercial during the match, that was kind of a no-no. But again, there's just so much, positive things that are involved with it being on Netflix. If that's the only thing that we can bitch about or complain about, I think we're okay. As long as they don't do like 5 commercials during the match. If it's one commercial, during the match, then I guess that's what we have to live with. It'd be, nicer if it didn't have any. It was before or after. But, if you're going to do one commercial, hopefully they can time it at a point where they're just rolling around on the ground and not a whole lot is happening, like catching their breath and whatnot. So. Oh, really? But usually the teams with the 4th car, it's fluffy. But usually that 4th member isn't really as good as the top 3, just like in Hendrick, right? So, I mean, everyone in Hendrick can win a race, but obviously that, that 4th spot obviously isn't going to be the same as the top 3. Ashton Kutcher doesn't have a very good reputation anymore, with everything that has gone on, in his public life. Especially with a lot of those people on the 70s show, like Hyde, kind of being a dirtbag. Not ideal. LA Knight. Oh, Eddie Guerrero, Latino Heat. I love it. Rey Mysterio and LA Knight. Yeah. Yeah, Drone Can is awesome. I agree. If we have a commercial, that stinks. But, I mean, everything else has been pretty fucking amazing. And it gives us an opportunity to hang out and enjoy Monday Night Raw every Monday for the most part. So. What you know about that, baby? Nothing better than these old school figures, man. Luke and Butch, baby. Oh, shit. Oh, Lenny D, wake up. Bam, 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 bam. I don't know if you're really going to get the John Cena sucks. I mean, he's at the end of his career now. So, I mean, you can still, sing it that way. But even when people sing it that way, I don't even know if they want to do that anymore. Like, this is the last time, the last run for John Cena. And again, I don't have a whole lot of John Cena memorabilia, but I got some, especially with that wristband and headbands that I have still in the package from a show that I went to when he was in his prime, like way early in his career. It's been sitting in one of my boxes sealed for, I don't know how long, 20 years, 15, 20 years, long time. Man, I'm loving this. Unfortunately, we have to have the Vikings and Rams next Monday. I would love to be able to do Monday Night Raw next Monday also, but I guess we'll have to pick and choose. Do we want to do Monday Night Raw, week number 2, or do we want to do the NFL playoff game? Probably we'll do the NFL playoff game unless they have an amazing card lined up, but I'll watch both at the same time, though. Oh, wow. See, you're educating me, on the daily, and I appreciate that. And like you said, you're the only one that I can really talk NASCAR with, and vice versa. So I appreciate that.
The one thing different about that is you.
Ooh, the thank you Cena's. Right.
Over the years, I've learned that you guys are very, very smart. And you understand that your audience just got a whole hell of a lot bigger.
Yeah, but if they're only going to have the one match, you have to understand that, you know, they have to do the intro. They have to build up the hype. You know, you're going to have people come out and, you know, so again, the hype dies down a little bit, you know, after like the first month or two, you know, and then they'll definitely be plugging in more matches. And we're going to be going longer now. It's going to be a 3-hour and 30-minute show. So even though they only had maybe one match in that first hour, they're going to make up for it later in the show. So. Lenny D, my boy. And it was a hell of a match. Agreed, Brett. But I mean, I think that they have lined up everything, you know, with Triple H and then The Rock and then the match and then the run-ins. You couldn't ask for anything better. It feels like a PLE. The jorts. And maybe they went with the black apron because we're on Netflix, you know, instead of doing like the red apron that's normally known for Raw on cable TV. Maybe they specifically did that. And then they didn't do the red ropes like they normally do for Monday Night Raw that's on cable. So those are, you know, little subtle details that they have to make it unique for the Netflix era, you know.
Rented a 2-bedroom at 106 and Doty, and that's like 600 feet from this building. Inglewood is up to no good. Guys, LA is where the prototype was born. LA is where won the first world championship.
That's true. First championship in LA for Cena.
25 years, LA has allowed me the opportunity to perform in this ring. And for one last time in a city where dreams are made, I humbly stand before you and say thank you.
And the cool thing is about the Cena merch that I have a rare one because you know how he does colors, blue, yellow, you know, green. I actually have one of the rarest ones of the wristbands and the headbands. I have it when they did the purple era, and the purple era was not a long era, and I had to scoop that up, and that's the only color that I have.
This is what this year is about. It's about making moments. There's a lot of noise in here right now, but there's also a lot of noise outside of here. Every day there's a new headline from a new expert on the year ahead. Who am I going to face at WrestleMania? Who am I going to face my last match in December? They're throwing out all kinds of names like Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, Logan Paul, Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, they have so, you know, they have so many options on where they could go with him. Lenny D, he loves that shit. He's like, yeah, that's my boy.
I gotta be honest.
John Cena still follows me. One day, maybe you'll get a follow, Lenny. I mean, I know it would mean everything to you. I imagine he still follows Sarah, too.
It's okay. It's okay. The reason I don't see it happen.
Yeah, Orton and Cena. Man, that would be something.
Roman Reigns 1,300 days. I'm not even talking about the Undertaker and WrestleMania. Y'all know what I mean. Y'all get it. I'm talking that it's been.
But the thing is like it would be cool to have Cena to have a title run, but at this point in his career, would it be believable? Being so old, You know, that would be like The Rock having a title run at this point of his age and career. Not so believable. Like, you can root for the guy, and this is the farewell tour, but to like have a belt, you know, at the, you know, I don't know. You know, you can do matches and you can have certain big wins, but I don't know how believable the WWE universe would be invested in actually having one of these guys that is an icon, but actually winning it. You know, how believable that would be based off his age and speed at this age now. I just had to check to see if he unfollowed me, or I highly doubted it, but I just had to check real quick. So,
Okay, so let's move never away and say it would take a miracle. I got a better chance at winning an Oscar, and you guys know that that's, well, you guys know.
nice. Yeah, Lenny just needs to get a Twitter/X account, and then all you got to do is just like and retweet his posts. And then eventually, over time, he'll notice it on his phone or his team, and then you may get a follow from him. So,
You have to win the Royal Rumble.
but that'll be the fastest way for you to get a follow from him, you know, is if you end up, and you don't personally message him or anything like that. You just like and retweet, you know, his stuff, and you know, if you like it, and eventually he'll see it, and you know, and you'll get a follow back more than likely. Cena winning the Royal Rumble.
I know it's a long shot, but just hear me out, okay? It's a lottery ticket, but in the lottery you can't win if you don't play. And I was kind of just gonna show up to the Royal Rumble and do the thing and leave, but I should play, right? I should be in the Rumble. I mean, for me, it's my last Rumble. There is no maybe next year. And I'm up here talking about thank yous. Well, hell, the best way to say thank you to you is win the Royal Rumble and make history at WrestleMania.
That would be wild if Cena won, you know, but again, it's like, what kind of shape are you in? How do you look in the ring? You know, we don't want to see like a shell of a wrestler, but you know, he'll give it everything he's got, just like The Rock.
And the only time we say never around here is when we say never give up.
Never give up.
Los Angeles,
Sergeant Slaughter, that's a good one too. The only wrestler to be in G.I. Joe, Real American Hero cartoon, and to be in WWF. Rumble! Come get some! Okay, Cena. Bam, 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 bam. Okay, baby.
I get it. Just a game and put it in for baby too. I don't respect the process. I've never fallen in line or waited my turn. Well, you know what believe is keeping you connected. I'm so good at this.
He might be a D-bag, but you know, he's a good wrestler. He's athletic. You know, not anybody can just come in and you know, do the things that, you know, he does. Obviously, we saw Bad Bunny do it. We saw Pat McAfee do it, but you know, McAfee is incredibly athletic. If you ever have watched his show, I mean, the guy can do anything: basketball, baseball, football, golf. Like, you know, once you get someone that has athletic ability, you know, if they put their mind to it, you know, and they train, you know, you can do almost anything just with practice. So. Yeah. He's a D-bag, but he's a hell of a wrestler. I'll give him that. He's entertaining, you know, and obviously, you know, when you do your whole thing on social media, you already are very comfortable talking on the mic. So for him to have the transition of, you know, it was never, oh, he won't be able to talk on the mic. He's already an expert at that. It's that, can he wrestle? And then he proved that he can do that as well. Oh, Liv, let's go. Watch me. Let's go. I had to include her on the thumb. Let's go, baby. Rumble is an indie, correct? Women's World Champion, Liv Morgan. Yeah, tear down that sign. Heel Liv. Yeah, and you already know at some point or another she's going to lose the belt to Ripley, at some point. But the run has been good, It's like if you're looking at the champions that we have, there's definitely people that are waiting in the wings to be able to get the belt back or to be that new face. But Liv has gotten so much better over the years. Same thing with Dom. They've gotten so much better, from where they were a few years ago to where they're at now.
She works her ass off. She's gotten better every single day. She's entered this fitness. She's just hanging around at third ball.
Liv Morgan defends her world title against Real Bloody Mercy 5 on Netflix.
It's cool to be able to see, wrestlers, and there's so much competition, and obviously some are going to get more preferential treatment than others, but it does show you in WWE, if you work, long enough and hard enough, and you keep trying to improve your skill set, maybe not necessarily in the Vince era, because he definitely was, very one-sided on who he liked, big men, and he definitely had his favorites and whatnot. Didn't like factions. SmackDown in Oregon here on Friday. But again, nice to be able to see kind of the evolution of some of the men and women that normally would have never gotten a chance in the Vince McMahon era, or it would have been very minimal. Like, oh, you got the belt, but you're going to lose it on Monday. Like, you're going to have it for a day or like a week. So it's kind of nice to be able to see some of these men and women like have an extended run at the title, whether it be a month, a couple months, 6 months, a year. But I really like the direction of where we're at in WWE. Yeah. Yeah, I could see that too. I could definitely see that. Yes. And again, she is coming back in 2025. It already is verified, but when? Royal Rumble? And sometimes, you need to reinvent yourself, a new gimmick, a new persona, new clothes, like you have to be getting better on the mic. You have to figure out, certain ways to be able to connect with the audience. And obviously some people are just, just good looking people. Some people are just, very, very attractive for the men and the women as the wrestlers, but that's only going to take you so far. You also have to be able to have a good skill set in the ring, and you have to be good on the microphone, regardless of what you look like. Obviously, looks do matter, but that's not the final, deciding factor of everything. Don't be getting jealous. You.
Every can of Goya black beans is packed with goodness. If it's Goya,
Now, Charlotte coming back too would be good.
quick question. If you had to choose,
Yeah, you need to be able to get on that plane from Connecticut to Oregon. That's what you need to do. FCS Championship, North Dakota State 28, Montana State 18.
sounds like you know the drill.
Yeah, tippy time. Charlotte Flair, kind of like the Charlotte Flair 2.0. She's not as smooth as Charlotte, and whatnot. But again, it's kind of the Charlotte Flair, type of wrestler. And that'll definitely be interesting when we get that at whenever point that is.
Wonderful shot of the into it though, but it's back to the roof. Historic night.
We invite you to collect all the biggest moments.
I only got eyes for one. Tops.com.
chase autographs, memorabilia, event exclusive photography for all the WWE's memorable moments, only with Tops and Tops. Now, we are in Hollywood, Los Angeles, a lot of celebrities here tonight inside the Intuit Dome, and all massive WWE fans, including Seth Green, part of WWE.
Seth Green. Oh, Macaulay Culkin. Kevin. All the stars are out tonight. Oh, hey, Topanga. I mean, shit, if I was rich, I would be there. She still looks the same as she did from back in the day. She doesn't age. Topanga! I know a lot of people growing up, you know, they had different crushes, you know, growing up and different shows that, because they don't really have sitcoms on anymore like they used to. Naomi and Bianca there. Oh. Let's go, baby. Shinsuke.
He looks amazing. We've got 2 words for you, Cole.
Meanwhile, there is our Women's World Champion, Liv Morgan.
Like 15 words.
She is approaching historic numbers in her title reigns. Bailey at 379, Rhea Ripley at 379 days. The women who held the championship longer than Liv Morgan.
Let's go. Rhea Ripley. I like her too because she's so unique. Great wrestler, awesome look, you know, completely different than anybody else on the roster. A very unique one of one, you know, like Liv is going to be one of the many blondes, you know, that they'll have, you know, in WWE, but they don't got anybody that is on the Ripley level based off skill set. Obviously, microphone skills, you know, for, you know, some of the men and women could be a little bit better, you know, but, you know, again, you can definitely tell who's been working on their mic skills and, you know, who might not be as good. But Ripley can cut a promo, got the kind of the goth, you know, kind of vibe. But the skill set in the ring, that really does separate her from a lot of the other females that are in the WWE. Yeah, Ice Cube's son was there. They got a lot of famous celebrities here tonight. Yeah, like kind of a Paige or Lita, you know, kind of a similar vibe. Lita wasn't as much as that. She was more kind of rock, not necessarily goth. And but Paige, obviously, that would be the closest thing that we have to Ripley. I would agree with that. That would have been Paige for sure. Kind of the emo goth vibe.
Mysterio and Rhea Ripley were an item for a long time.
All right, baby.
Introducing first the challenger from Adelaide, South
I miss Samantha. But, based on her interviews, she was never supposed to be just like a ring announcer. She wanted to actually be, like, a manager or like a wrestler. And so that was never going to happen. So that's why she left. So she could do other projects and whatnot. But I don't blame her. She got dreams and she wants to go another direction.
I'd like to remind everyone of who Dirty Dominic Mysterio is. He is the son of the legendary.
Liv has got really nice, long, pretty hair, unless those are extensions. Some of y'all in the room would probably know. I know some of the females wear a lot of extensions in the hair, like Bianca Belair and a few others, but is Liv's hair all hers, or is she got some fake hair in there? It looks kind of natural when I look at it. It's extensions. I figured. Extensions got to be in there pretty good, otherwise you'd have hair falling out. Oh, big knee. Yeah, unless they have short enough hair where they don't really need an extension, like Ripley. I don't think there's no extensions there. Her hair is already kind of short, so. Oh, probably sewed in, yeah. Yeah, get off me. Oh, caught her. Oh, baby, that was stiff. Let's go. Oh, my. Oh, and then they have to do the goddamn commercial. No, we don't want to see some cricket bullshit. Like, they have to figure this out where they go like split screen. Like, even in the corner, 50-50, half and half, whatever it may be. And if they don't want to do half and half, they can do 75% ad, 25% small screen in the corner. It's not like they haven't done anything like that in the past. But I guess, she's laying on the table, so she's just going to be wiggling around in pain. So they're like, oh, we can do a 30-second minute commercial here. Cricket, Subway. No, we want to watch a goddamn match with Ripley and Liv Morgan. Oh, Liv, but I don't know if she will. I mean, I like both wrestlers a lot, based on where they were and where they're at now. But like you were saying, I could see Liv losing, but not dropping the belt, but maybe a run in and then losing by DQ. I could definitely see that scenario happening. That's very plausible. So, but I mean, I don't think you're going to get a belt change here, obviously, on Monday Night Raw. So I would assume Liv will win by DQ, but Ripley is going to get the belt. Like, you can feel it. Like, if that's the route that they go for that rivalry, unless it's someone else like Raquel or whatnot. But like, Liv's run with the belt at some point this year, will be over. And then we'll see if she ends up getting another, opportunity for a belt in the future. But we'll see how long she hangs on to it. Usually for me, I just want good matches, regardless on who wins and who loses, run-ins, I just want to be able to see, quality moves. I want to see, not any kind of, I mean, you're going to get questionable endings, but this is not the Vince McMahon era anymore, and we're not going to have like the squash match where it's going to be like Vince McMahon 2 minutes, with like a Brock Lesnar. So, we'll see where it goes, but I assume Ripley will win, but there won't be a belt change and it will be like DQ, Cricket, Subway, Fortnite. I get it. All of these sponsors are on the ring apron, but they can still go 50-50 or like a little box to see the screen. They don't have to have it full screen, do they? And imagine, at some point they'll probably convert it, into at least a little box of the action. At least I would hope, but you never know. Fluffy.
Mexican DJ Khaled up here, I know, right?
Yeah. But, I like both of these wrestlers. They're both good at different things. It's like you get the one that, that's pretty and crazy. And then obviously that has the belt now, that has worked her ass off to get to this position. And then you get the kind of the emo goth, dark kind of vibe. And obviously a fantastic wrestler, arguably one of the best, that's in the women roster. Very unique. And again, they both can hold the belt in their own right. So 2. 28-25 in the FCS championship. North Dakota State up by 3 on Montana State with 9 minutes left in the fourth. I know not a lot of people give a shit about FCS, but just to be able to see what's going on that end.
There's a reason she's champion. Look at that. Boy, the back of Ripley.
I had to just take the peek at the score, and the Blazers just lost to the Pistons a few minutes back. No surprise there.
Superhuman stuff.
Ooh. And then the Kraken and the Devils play tonight at 7 in like 24 minutes, so I'll keep an eye on that too. Odin's Devils versus me and Megan's Kraken. There we go, Ripley. Ooh, look at this move. There you go. There you go. What power and execution by Ripley there. It takes a lot of power to do like that pump handle and not drop the wrestler, and then to be able to gain your leverage and then, turn that into that suplex. That was very well done. Like, we haven't seen too many female wrestlers that have that power. It's almost like China all over again, but the athleticism is different. 2. Jay and Drew, Rollins and CM Punk. Let's go. I'm ready. And I think really that's the only thing that people are going to mention is that they don't like the commercials, during the match. But if that's the only commercial that we get, like they run 3 commercials and then that's it for the rest of the match. I don't think that's that bad. There's plenty of times in a wrestling match where things are, people are resting, people are recovering, people are wiggling around, trying to catch their breath. So, it's just that we don't want to, miss any DDTs or body slams or smashing through the table. Like, we want to be able to see any of the violence that happens. But if it's just going to be like wiggling on the ground, catching your breath, having the ref count to 10, that's not that big, of a deal. But again, the only people that are going to see everything from beginning to end, before and after, is the European crowd. They, for whatever reason, don't have the ads over there, so they're lucky. Yeah, this is for the belt. So you already know Liv is going to retain based on like a DQ, like Britt said, more than likely. You'll have Finn or someone run in, Dom. Something's going to happen, and then it'll be like Ripley is about to win, but then there's some kind of DQ or something. 2. Lenny D can't control himself.
He's done that on a number of occasions.
Oh, on the chair too. Two. Man, Rumble is on February 1st. That's just right around the corner. I can't wait for that. That's going to be lit, lit, lit. It's all good. You know, if we're really being honest about things, we don't really have a whole lot of photos that we put up of females on this channel. I mean, a lot of the people that, you know, donate, you know, if it's like Megan and others, we usually show more of the dudes and the men, you know, on the, you know, photos than really showing a lot of women photos. So a lot of attractive ladies in WWE and wrestling, a lot of attractive dudes, obviously doing their thing in the wrestling business. Lenny D can't control himself. Liv, little frog splash. Two. I'm just excited that we can start doing this on a regular basis, and then hopefully we'll get more and more people wanting to come through and hang out. You know, I know not every you know, football fan is a wrestling fan, but I think there is something there. You know, most people that I know that love, you know, the NFL, college football, or the NFL, they love wrestling too. But I guess it just depends on what year you grew up and if it was a part of your life. Good counter there by Ripley. Riptide. Oh, doing it again? Wow, Riptide after Riptide after Riptide. It's a tsunami of moves. Wow, she won the belt clean? Holy moly. Well, I guess we were all wrong, huh? And that's what makes, you know, Monday Night Raw and Triple H in this era amazing, because a lot of times as fans, we think we've kind of figured it out based on the past in the Vince McMahon era. But this is very shocking that Ripley won on Raw. We would assume that it would have been on a pay-per-view like at Royal Rumble or something of that nature. But wow. Wow. There's Dirty Dom. He's going to get cold clocked in the head. Or is he going to, what's he going to do here? Dirty Dom, he's jumping ship. Triple H is cooking, baby. Dom is like, oh, you're the champ now. Let me go over here. A hug and then a belt to the head. Yeah. There you go. Right to the sack. Right to the sack. Right to the giblets. Right to the twig and berries. Wow, man. Triple H is cooking, man. Like, you know, normally when you have like a Monday Night Raw debut like this, Netflix, you got so many things going on. But normally on like Raw and SmackDown, it's pretty rare, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, to have a belt change. You know, usually it's during a PLE or a pay-per-view, right? But to be able to sprinkle in once in a while to keep us on our toes like this, chef's kiss. You know, I definitely thought that Liv was going to be dropping the belt at some point, but I don't think anybody, even the most diehard Ripley fans, thought it was going to be tonight. Triple H, you are cooking. Now, obviously, for Liv fans, you know, they're going to be a little sad, but she had a good run, and, you know, they can always, you know, go back and forth with the feud if that's the direction they're going to go, unless Ripley is going to have a new feud with another wrestler, which is definitely possible. Wow. How long was Liv's run? Can someone look that up to see how long Liv's run was, unless you know it off the top of your head? Wow, that's shocking, man. So shocking. I did not think that was going to happen. But I'm not mad at it. I kind of like it, but I just didn't think it was going to be tonight. I thought it was inevitable. It was going to happen, but man, I got a text message Triple H, let him know how good of a job he's doing. My God. 200. Okay, Reefer, you're on it, my guy. I'm going to say it's been a while. Mommy's always on top. Undertaker? Fuck out of here. Are you kidding me? Get the fuck out of here. Me and Odin. This is one of our ultimate. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Or the American Badass Undertaker? I mean, regardless of what Undertaker I get, if we get, the Dead Man or if we get the American Badass. Where's the motorcycle? Where are you? Yeah! Let's go. And that's kind of cool because, again, in a lot of in the last 2 or 3 years, right, we haven't seen this. It's always been, the Dead Man, and obviously the slow intro and everything. But now in the Netflix era, kind of going into the rolling. Everyone remembers the American Badass. And I know some Taker fans didn't like this version of The Undertaker, but I didn't mind it. It was based on that time and the era, with Fred Durst and everything that was coming out. Sometimes you do need a persona change. And obviously he's always going to be known as the Dead Man, and this is obviously like a side piece character, but kind of cool. They are really pulling out all the stops. Man, American Badass. It would have been cool either one that would have come out. But wow. I wasn't anticipating Undertaker coming out. This is kind of cool, man. Yeah, for me, I saw the Undertaker's like first match coming up, wearing the purple and the black and with, Paul Bearer and everything. So, I've seen Undertaker, go to many, many different types of characters over the years. And wow. Man, this Netflix era is awesome. Reefer looked it up. 225 days. So almost 8 months. Almost 8 months, like 7 months and like 2 weeks, whatnot. Wow. Crazy, man. I love it. And I'm glad that we can share, this stuff together, as fans, of wrestling. And a lot of us are going to be here, every month with the PLEs anyways. But for some people like Lenny D, we don't get to see you as often. And now with doing more Monday Night Raws, I imagine we're going to see more of you here. We're at 30, 70 to go. How many more likes do we need to get to 20? We need 4 more likes to get to 20. Let's get there, baby. Anyone's got a backup account? Oh, no, we got 2 more. 2 more to go. 2 more. We're at 18. 2 more. You got a backup account? Do your boy a solid.
Single-handedly destroyed both Otis and the Alpha. So now I can start checking out the rest of my 2025 bucket list. I will. I will dispel all rumors that I have any trouble.
I really like Chad Gable. I think he's awesome on the mic and he's awesome in the ring. It's kind of like a modern day Kurt Angle. And he is deserving of a belt. Again, like that's a guy that's got incredible talent on the mic and in the ring. You need to reward a guy like that. You don't want to be able to like push him to the side like Dolph Ziggler, where you got so much talent, but then you give it to him early and then you just never give them opportunities later in the career. And, they definitely did Dolph Ziggler dirty. And hopefully Chad Gable, even though he's a lower name, it's just like a Sami Zayn. Sometimes you just need to have your shot. Give yourself an opportunity to be seen, Yeet, yeet, yeet. You feel me? Yes. Yeah, Penta's going to be there. Seattle, Miedo, let's go. Jay and Drew, let's go. Christopher loved it. Undertaker, baby. Man. Roddy Piper, baby. Man, some of these vintage figures, man. I mean, this is just like my childhood. And that's why, like, most of my collection is boxed. You know, I've been collecting for almost 40 years, but I do have, you know, some of the stuff from like the childhood and stuff that I've acquired over the years that is loose. And I think it's like important to make sure that you have some of your collection loose as a toy collector, just to be able to put your hands on the items and pose them and, like, you know, being able to see the functionality. Because if this is in the package, I never can do that. Do you know how cool it is to have a figure and then to be able to have the motion? Like, there's not a price that you can put on that to be able to pose the figure, and especially when you get the ones that move, and those are my favorite. With the Bushwhackers. Oh my gosh. Luke and Butch. Man, I'm in heaven right now with all these figures I got. Oh. Bailey moving to Raw, maybe. Yeah, can't wait to see that. Dude, it's going great. I mean, like, really, the only thing that we can say right now is, like, we don't like the commercials during the match. But other than that, there is nothing that any fan can complain about. We're getting belt changes. We're getting fucking Rock, Cena, Undertaker, the icons of the former generation. Triple H out there doing his thing. Like, man, like, and again, it feels like a PLE. And I feel every Monday Night Raw is going to feel like that. And you're going to get more and more eyeballs on the product. And then hopefully one day we're going to get SmackDown on Netflix too. And then I'll be able to add that to the channel as well. I mean, yeah, we're going to have, Thursday Night Football. But imagine if Thursday Night Football is shitty, or, depending on if it's going to be on Thursday or Friday or in the future, depending on when we're going to have SmackDown, if they have it on Thursday or if they have it on Friday or whatever. But it would be cool down the road to be able to do a SmackDown, obviously, as a group as well. But so far, I am loving this. North Dakota State 35, Montana State 25 in the FCS championship.
A Chewy order is on the way for Rory, who can speak for himself, but can't shop for himself. So when he gave his verbal approval on the food Dad bought on Chewy, Dad put it on auto ship. So it always gets delivered right on Bruce's schedule. The flavor Rue loves, the savings they love. For automatic delivery and 5% savings, for life with pets, there's Chewy.
Once Raw on Netflix concludes, make sure to flip over to WWE's YouTube.
Let's go, baby. What surprise are we going to get next?
Set the door, Wade Barrett and Big E having press conference from participants, interviews, and exclusives. Well, Rock kicked off the show tonight. What a great moment that was. But as he was leaving the Intuit Dome, he was actually live on his Instagram. Check this out.
STL in the building. What's good? Zeke to the Chargers, huh? And obviously, we're going to be getting Hulk Hogan, too, because they got to promote his beer and whatnot. So he'll be obviously coming down at some point or another. What's good, STL? If you smell what The Rock is cooking.
Did Rock give you any of that strength for the Bucks tonight?
Hello, Tim Bonner Tequila. A toast to the high chief to be a part of NXT tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow night live.
No worries. You want some photos real quick before we get into the next match if you're leaving? Or do you want to wait till possibly tomorrow? Or I know Kraken is going to be on here momentarily against Odin's Son's Devils and whatnot. So I'm going to be watching a little bit of that as well. But let me know what you're thinking photo-wise, and we'll sprinkle some of those in for you. All right, you want to just do your foxes that are silver? You want to go that route? Or is there something Kraken that you want or Seahawk related that you want? You just let me know. Big wrestling fan, Vanessa Hudgens. She loves WWE. Yeah, you got to stay safe, my guy. Lots of people getting stranded. Undertaker's wife. All right, let's get some photos up here for Megan, since she might be leaving here momentarily. Based off her support to the channel, I appreciate that. Yeah, I'll give you your usuals. Let's see if we can sprinkle in as many as we can here. I mean, it's a benefit when you have your own file. You got a couple files, but again, the people that support me the most are going to get, rewarded the most. So. Was that Travis Scott? Yeah, I can't even tell you how many photos I have and files I have for you. I probably, because sometimes, at one point I was just, deleting them and then having to like reload them. And then I thought, well, what is the point in that? I should just create a big file for you. And then that way I can get to those photos quicker. And then I don't have to worry. Right. So I can go faster with the photos. So anytime you see me rapid fire, obviously with the photos like that, obviously I got you on file. Go. Appreciate you. And let me see if I can sprinkle in a couple Steffens in here while we have this intro for you. And we're at 30, 70 to go. Appreciate you very much. Anyone that's willing to support me, then you end up getting your favorites on the channel. So appreciate you. Thank you so much to Odin's Son, as well as Megan so far. Let's go. Appreciate you. And I'm kind of liking the dark vibe, on the stream. Again, like I have the ability now to make it like a lighter version or a darker version. But again, for me to do a dark version, I have to have a kind of a darker theme. And obviously, this is the perfect time to debut. This is my very first debut of the dark mode. And again, there's only going to be certain things that are going to allow us to be able to do the dark mode, but I feel with wrestling streams, it lines up perfect. Let's go, baby. Yes, sir. Heck yeah. Jey Uso, Drew McIntyre. Love both of them. This is going to be sweet. I love it when, people reinvent themselves, and sometimes you just got to find the right version, to be able to connect with the audience and whatnot. And, with Jay and Jimmy, to go from when they were wearing kind of the Hawaiian shorts, and they had that look, with that kind of surfboard Hawaiian look early on, and to see the evolution on where they're at today. Pretty cool. Yeah, Kraken's just about to go here against the Devils. I got to turn it on. All right. All right, I have it on. I got the Kraken and the Devils on right now as well. Boom. Let's go. Yeah, but I've been holding on to this dark mode for a while. I wanted to debut it earlier, but didn't really have a stream that I thought that would be appropriate. But, based on this background and, not having the cards on the side, for football, basketball, baseball, and hockey, and it's more of a bigger me. It took a long time to be able to find the right look, but I'm really satisfied with this background, and this will be the background and that we use, pretty much moving forward for these wrestling streams, as well as this particular thumbnail. And in the future, I may even sprinkle in other wrestlers, depending on who might be in it. I still love Seth and Roman in the OTC and Liv, but I have the ability to, remove those three and add three others if I want. But so far, I like, that, trio. And, eventually, if I end up doing more work, I can always modify that, but it'll still have the same background. So I will. I'll keep you posted on everything. Let's go, baby. Let me throw in a couple throwback Steve Largents here for Megan too. Since we have time, I want to make sure we're making the most of every minute that we have. So again, when we have matches, I got to stick with the matches. But when it's before the match or after the match, I want to try to be able to squeeze in as many photos as I can, for the people that are supporting me here on the channel. So.
I lost track of time. That was best of you, didn't payroll and time tracking without getting into the weeds. That's good.
Appreciate you.
Grab some Voya Maria cookies. The ones with the golden wrapper.
Golden wrapper, you said. And that golden wrapper is.
No. But it's the perfect snack.
And you can turn them into a real treat. Voya Maria cookies. Give snack time the golden touch. Looking for a way to stretch the dollar?
Yeah, and it's not even done yet. We still got two really, really good matches. We got Jay and we got Drew, and then we got CM Punk and Seth. I mean, let's go. And then perfect timing for this Devils and Kraken game to be on. Blazers lost, so I wasn't able to get a win against the Pistons, which is incredibly sad. But again, Monday Night Raw has been amazing, and we'll see how this Kraken and Devils matchup ends up being. And again, we have probably, another hour and 15 minutes of the show. So supposedly it's going to be 3 hours and 30 minutes today. So I'll get to watch a good chunk of this matchup. Jack Hughes there on the ice for the Devils, and Odin's son, his favorite team. And then we got me and Megan for the Kraken. And hopefully we can find a way to get this done with Chandler Stevenson, Kako, Maddie Beniers, and everyone else. Do you know who's in net tonight?
Some tickets available, but tonight we make history. Sold out over 17,000 in this beautiful building known as the Intuit Dome, over the NBA Los Angeles Clippers, and tonight home to Monday Night Raw. And Pat and I received some break, but we're back.
I would like to be able to see Drew with the belt again. You know, again, having a belt during COVID was one thing, but you know, Drew as a heel is amazing. You know, Drew as a face is still like good, but him as a heel is like amazing. Eddie Orango, the ref. Nice. Nice. That's awesome. Drew's moving to SmackDown. Who is he going to be feuding with? Any idea who Drew's going to be feuding with? Because obviously they're going to keep LA Knight on SmackDown because that's a big draw over there. Like, you know, that's what you're going to have. So even though we saw LA Knight in the crowd, obviously he is going to be, you know, SmackDown. So Sammy's going to SmackDown too. Well, they need some star power over there too to, you know, to make sure that you keep the wrestling fans engaged so they're not just watching Raw and, you know, not paying attention to SmackDown. Whoa, Jay over the top. Yeet, yeet, yeet. Oh, she was coaching the Pee Wee. Nice. Another suicide dive caught. Get him, Drew. Boom. Whoa. Threw Jay like a rag doll. And I'll keep you posted, Odin. Hasn't started yet. Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. You read my mind, Reefer. Best big man in wrestling, period. In any federation. But speaking of other federations and whatnot, it was nice to see Kenny Omega, you know, kind of back in the fold and in the mix. Because, again, whether it's NJPW or it's AEW, like, you know, everyone needs the best of the best to be out there. And I love me some Kenny Omega. It's like guys like him and Will Ospreay, man, they are, you know, so unique at what they do. Grew for Kraken, Markstrom for the Devils. Nice. And I'm seeing that right now here as they just put it up, the graphic on the screen here. Yeah, me too. Ooh, big chop by Drew. Yeah, I miss Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson. Yeah, I miss both. All right, puck drop has happened. Kraken at home going against the Devils. Odin's team versus me and Megan's team. Hopefully the Kraken can find a way. And we got Drew McIntyre and Jey Uso here on Monday Night Raw. Man, let's go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh!
Tonight live on Netflix. The sold out into a dome over 17,000 in Los Angeles tonight.
Yeah, I mean, AEW, if you don't got Omega and, Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson, the Young Bucks, Ospreay, like if you don't have every single top tier guy wrestling, you're not being able to keep up, obviously being the secondary promotion to WWE and the way that they've been so successful in this Triple H era. The only way you're going to get eyeballs on the product is if all the best guys are out there. And a lot of them have been injured in the last year and a half. So they've fallen back quite a bit, but I'm still a fan of wrestling in general. And if I can get, NJPW or AEW and it's worth my time, yeah, I'll watch it. Ooh.
Homage to, of course, his dad, Rikishi, and the late great Maya. James and out.
2.
I'm sure he hit that back as cleanly as he would like. It's cross body picture, it's 2 count. It's Los Angeles.
Yeah, with FTR. And I've slowly got back into watching more AEW. For a while, I just didn't watch it at all. There was no point because all my favorites were injured or, storyline was kind of and they had just a bunch of like mid-card, low-card guys, but, I've definitely started to kind of go out of my way to watch a little bit more.
And now McIntyre looking to put Jey Uso away.
Claymore. Oh, countered. Big kick by Jay. 2. Yeah. And then everyone in the crowd clowning on Ricochet being bald. You are bald. You are bald. Yeah, I think he knows he's bald. But AEW has been getting slightly better, in the last few weeks. Oh, good counter there by Drew. Getting the knees and the feet up. Nice spine buster there and roll up. 1, 2, 2. Wow. Wow. 2. All right, Drew. Like, what can Drew not do? A guy can do everything. I mean, really, the only thing that he's limited on is maybe doing top rope stuff, but he's a big guy, Yeah. Like, I know a lot of us we're all invested in Monday Night Raw, and SmackDown. NXT is still kind of meh, it's not necessarily must-see TV every week like Raw and SmackDown are, and just like with like Dynamite and Collision's kind of that's kind of like NXT. It's usually not that great. It's okay. I guess it's something to watch, but hopefully 2025 will be good for both companies. Let's go, Jay. Let's go, Drew. Let's go, Jay. Let's go, Drew. No worries, man. How is the leg? How are you doing? I know, obviously, missing work and, having the leg being broken isn't ideal, but hopefully you're doing the best that you can, with all things considered. Oh, what a DDT. 2. And we will be seeing the Hulkster.
Now he's taking everything that Drew McIntyre can throw.
Obviously, we're going to see him promote his beer, and he'll be on the show at some point. Might be kind of a questionable individual, obviously outside of wrestling, but again, for a lot of the people that grew up watching Hulk Hogan and the Hulkamaniacs and Hollywood Hogan in the NWO, the wrestler and who he is in real life are two separate things. Big spear by Jay. 2. But I was more of a Hollywood Hogan, guy with the NWO rather than the Hulk Hogan, But this childhood toy got a lot of work. Bushwhackers, Luke and Butch, Hogan, Big Boss Man, Ultimate Warrior.
Two of the best doing battle one-on-one in this matchup tonight.
Ooh, big kick.
Who's still favoring the left arm. And a kick again.
Oh, another kick.
By Jay. Drew McIntyre somehow still on his feet. Went for another spear. Caught the face by McIntyre. Kick. Oh,
What a Claymore!
No idea how to kick out from that. 275-pound man, full speed, puts it heel through the toe.
Had to look around the corner to see if I had any of my other vintage figures, maybe from the NWO era. But I did find NWO Wolfpack Sting. Super dope. Squeeze the legs. Woo! Everyone's, incredible face at the time, even though he was old. A little DDP with the diamond cutter. Kaka. DDP. And then obviously we got Hogan with the spray can. I mean, this one's one of my favorite ones too, with the 4 Life, with the lightning bolts down there. Hollywood. I mean, definitely one of my favorite loose figures, the Hollywood Hogan. Anything NWO, as people know. Man, I can open up a toy store here on my desk. Yeah, AEW streaming on Max. Yeah. The only problem is that not very many people have Cinemax or have that add-on with Hulu, not like Netflix. Like if they wanted to, go on a platform, they needed to go on something like Hulu or, like something that's a little bit more common like Netflix, Because even if it was like Disney Plus or Prime, I mean, not everyone's going to have that, or Apple Plus TV. I guess like Cinemax is a start, but I guess it's better than nothing, right? Ooh. Wow. Jay with the win. Oh, my. This has been surprising. Like, me and Reef are thinking, Drew could win this. And they decide to give the dub to Jay. Wow. But it does make sense because Drew's going to SmackDown, right? Is that what you were saying before, Sarah? That Drew's going to SmackDown, more than likely? Drew and Sammy. So again, for Drew losing, that makes sense because obviously why would you have him win if he's going to be going to another show? I guess it really doesn't matter either way, but yeah, I can only assume that he's losing because he's going to SmackDown based on what Sarah said. So that makes sense. There's no point of him winning a match on Raw if he's transitioning to SmackDown. So that makes a little bit more sense. Big win by Jay.
and they're ambitious. Don't die.
This show has been good. What you know about that? I'm the bad guy. What you know about Scott Hall? This is my dude right here. I wish, as a collector, I could, open up, some of my sealed rings that I have. I even have like a cage accessory that I've been wanting to open and like fuck around with, but I can't because of the value. But, and it's not like I have any kids of my own where I can kind of dip into my collection and open some stuff up and, play with the wrestling figures with my son or my daughter. I got a dog daughter with Paisley, but she probably would nibble on the figures and ruin them. So, oh, it's Fluffy.
You have a massive weekend ahead of you. Tomorrow, your new Netflix special debuts, Legend of Fluffy, January 7th. You gotta watch it. And tonight, you are helping usher in a new era of WWE here on Netflix. So, what are you most looking forward to tonight, Fluffy?
I'm really excited. No. Get the niceness. Hell no. What's going on? We haven't had a chance to explain what happened between us and Big E because the WWE Universe won't let us. Where's our time? This is Raw on Netflix. This is the biggest platform this industry has ever seen. You should be interviewing the greatest tag team on the face of planet Earth and not talking to this fluffy buffoon. Buffoon? Dude, I like you guys more when you had cereal. What's going on? Which jokes will you listen to? Well, since you won't give us the time or the respect we deserve, we're going to take it.
Actually, hearing that we're out of time.
Happy New Year, Dave.
Otis.
Hey, well, you know what? I'd love to stay and hang out. Man, I got to get to my amazing seats. Thank you, Netflix. Gotta go. One more thing before I leave. You, it sucks. You, it sucks. It sucks.
We are actually.
Nobody did it all trespass tomorrow. The glory of the idol once again belongs to you.
Oh, I ended up getting from my buddy too. I didn't mention that to you, Megan. I ended up getting a new Star Wars vintage figure. I got a vintage, exclusive edition Boba Fett, figure with like other, stuff in it. It's like, I want to see what it says here real quick. What do I got here? But this was a cool gift for my friend. All right, what do we have here? It's a deluxe Boba Fett from 1996 with a wing blast rocket pack and a cannon. Pretty sweet. From 1996, so I would have been 14. Pretty cool, man. And again, my friends know what I like, and this would be something that obviously as a Star Wars fan as well. But I don't know with the glare, if you can see if I can get it without the glare. But there, you can kind of see it with the. But it reminds me of a Gung Ho figure that I had in G.I. Joe when I was a kid, where it had a rocket launcher, and then you could put it in there, and then the missile will shoot out. But this is Boba Fett, and it has the rocket pack and the obviously the rocket launcher cannon. I'm never going to open it, but my buddies have good taste, and obviously they take care of me when I take care of them, obviously with the gift exchange. Pretty cool. But that's my newest Star Wars figure that I've received here recently. But I got, what else do I got in here? I got RVD elite figure, Macho Man elite figure. I mean, I got all kinds of stuff in here. My whole room is like, I'm like kind of like Megan and some of the other people like Odin that are like collectors. Like I like to be surrounded by my collection. So, I mean, I got stuff stacked on the floor, stuff on my dresser, stuff on tubs, on top of tubs, and I don't know. It's just kind of nice to be able to look around and being surrounded about all the things that are important to you over the years and whatnot. So. 1-0 Devils, Odin. I can't tell you who scored, but it is 1-0. Yeah, and we actually had a Star Wars exclusive store here in Oregon, and all they had was the Star Wars stuff, and it was like at the mall, and then they moved it to another location, and I never got a chance to go there, but my buddy did, and my buddy was telling me that if I was there, that they probably would kick me out for staying there too long, you know, because they had so many things. Like they literally had like thousands of Star Wars, you know, things in the package. You know, still boxed up and everything. And I was like, man, and that's where he ended up getting that gift for me and stuff. So he knows what I like and whatnot. I always hook him up with, different things of, Mariners or Blazers or Ducks and whatnot. He's a Bronco fan. Obviously I'm Bucks, but he's got a good eye for collectibles too. So I was pretty happy with that Boba Fett figure. Obviously I don't own that figure, and and it's in pretty damn good condition for being 1996 as well. Cartier there getting in the mix with the Devils. We're down 1-0 to New Jersey. Oh, wow. He looks like, Berlin. I remember him. Yeah. WCW. Wow. Wow. Cool photos.
To the two-night WrestleMania on the Strip in Las Vegas.
Reefer with a 30. Thank you so much. Thank you, Reefer. I appreciate you. $30 holla. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. Where does that put us at now? And let me know what you want to do photo-wise between now and the end of the stream, and I can hook you up with some photos. We're at 40 to go. Let's go, baby. Thank you guys so much for your support. But I don't really get a chance to show off a lot of like my collection and the stuff that I have because I have so many things. But again, when we do streams like this, where it's kind of like laid back and chill, instead of me calling like a football game, where we have more time in between commercial breaks and whatnot, where I can kind of share more of my collection. But it's like I'm looking at my dresser right now, and I got my vintage Hot Wheels that I played with from the late 70s, early 80s, Micro Machine, Greyhound Bus, bobbleheads, Ichiro stuff, Legos, PSA, BGS cards. I got a Darth Maul over there. Ooh, Braun Breaker. There's Tiffy time. And speaking of Star Wars, since I showed that Boba Fett, you can never go wrong with this. This is on, when you get these like highly detailed with the clothes and everything with the Darth Maul. I mean, this is what it's about. I mean, here comes Hulk Hogan, which we already knew was going to come out to promote his beer. And we ain't talking Hollywood, or are we going to be talking Hulkster? Either one, baby. Your boys got them both. Let's go, baby. You already know what it is. The Hulkster, kind of a D-bag in real life. The Hulkster, but again, for us that grew up, with the, eating your vitamins and saying your prayers and the Hulkamaniacs and then going to NWO, that was life-changing for me. And then you got the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. Love fucking him. Yes. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something.
brother.
You know something, maniacs? I've been in
Oh,
this
please do.
business for over 40 years. And the greatest part of my life was being part of this great WWE, guys. You know, I've had all kind of tag team partners over the years. But you, the fans, have been
Yeah.
like-
Well, obviously, his affiliation, with the Republican Party with Trump. And again, we don't talk politics on this channel, but just some of the things that he has said and done and his family, he doesn't really rub people the right way. Again, like even if you loved Hulk Hogan growing up and you loved the NWO like I did, like when you see a wrestler, obviously in real life, like with him, Kane, Undertaker, and a few others, like we can still love them as wrestlers, but sometimes, the shit in their personal life and the shit that they say and do is a little frowned upon. So, I mean, obviously his son had the DUI. Not really anything you could say about Brooke, but it's really about, I think, just the things that he has said and done, when, he got invited to like the Trump shit. And then, just some of the things that he says and does in his real life, And regardless if you're Democrat or Republican and, you're a Trump or against Trump or for Trump, whatever, but I feel that like, a lot of people have kind of looked at Hogan, The Undertaker, and Kane in kind of a different way now, once you kind of see what they're like outside of wrestling. Undertaker, not so much, but I think, Hogan has gotten the brunt of it, based on a lot of the things he's said and done. Well, yeah, the politics stuff, but also being racist. Yeah, that has something to do with it too, of 100%. And obviously that is kind of a known thing too, that he is racist. 100%. Lenny Dean hit that right on the head. But we also know, and we don't talk politics here, but we also know with him, lining himself with Trump also an individual that is sexist and racist. So again, when you end up getting that type of affiliation, fans are going to boo. Not every fan is going to be like, oh, Hulkamaniacs or NWO, Hollywood Hogan. Some of them are still going to have those great memories when we were kids or when we were young adults. But again, it also is a very clear reminder, just because you like a wrestler in real life doesn't mean that they're necessarily a good person outside of wrestling. I think that's a fair thing to say. Oh, wow. Those are cool. Stephanie McMahon.
So great to see Stephanie here tonight. All the legends are out.
Burn it down. That's my boy. See if I can get these photos up real quick before we get into this. Burn it down, baby. I got you, Seth. Don't worry. I got you. I got Liv, and I got the OTC. And that's obviously the last time with Liv with the belt for now. But here's the photos that Megan sent. That's very cool. Look at the detail on that. Very cool. Oh yeah, Stephanie is always going to be gorgeous no matter what. I mean, especially when you're rich and whatnot, you can have plastic surgery and you can work out and this and that. But when you're a millionaire, and you have like the best, beauty products, the best doctors, it's going to be kind of hard not to be attractive if that's the route you're trying to go for. You know, if you have an unlimited money supply, you know, and you can get the best things to take care of your face and your body, yeah, that you can end up being 40, 50, 60 years old and still looking phenomenal. And those were in the what a workshop in Wellington. Ah. And then this is my favorite set. This is the very first Shield Elite figure. Includes a table and a supersized ladder, which you don't really see that much anymore. And the ladder is ginormous. It's like literally as big as the whole package itself. And he's got the little blonde on the side. But this was my favorite Elite set that I've collected by hand at Toys R Us when it still existed. And I ended up getting these in 2013. Can you imagine? The Shield started around that time. And here is the Seth. So as you can see, look at how big the ladder literally goes all the way to the top of the package. And then you got the nice little table in there as well. As you can see with some of the others that they had there, the Dean Ambrose, and as you see some of the Sheamus. But I love early Elites. And again, this is Elite Series 25. And I think now they're over 100 because obviously this is from, 2013. So this is already, 12 years old? That's crazy. Seth, Dean Ambrose, and Roman Reigns.
The all-new $6.99 meal of the day at Subway. Or make it a footlong for just $3 more.
I miss the Shield a lot too. I could open up a toy store here, man. I got so many things just scattered around in here, but it's cool. Like it gives me an opportunity to be able to show you guys some of the, the collection that I talk about, but then you guys never really see. But now you guys are able to kind of see what I got. And I'll show my most recent figure that I purchased. I purchased a loose NWO Macho Man Wolfpack figure from Canada. It ended up being broken, and I messaged the guy back, but it's like I don't really need a refund because I only paid like $11 for it and whatnot. But pretty cool. Obviously, it has Madness on one leg, NWO on another, and then he's got the chair included. So even though the figure, it's supposed to squeeze the legs and the movement is supposed to have the chair go forward, but this guy in Canada played with this fucking Macho Man so much, the legs are kind of loose, and when you squeeze the legs, the motion doesn't work. And I could have got a refund and sent it back to him, but there was no point. It would have cost just as much to send it back to Canada and whatnot. But I wrote him a review, and I said, oh, yeah. I was like, this figure has been played with way too much. And I was like, you sent me a broken figure, but still, the fact that, the vest is in mint condition and it comes with the chair. Accessories usually cost about, $10 to $20, depending on what it is, a belt or whatever. So, but this is the last figure that I ended up buying, but it's Macho Man. What can you do? And it's NWO Wolfpack Macho Man. Oh, yeah. All right, Paisley's in the room. Don't miss it, brother. Yeah.
In the lovely city of San Antonio. Well, what's wrong? Over to the WWE YouTube, Netflix's YouTube, or any of WWE social platforms.
And we got a little time left here before we get into this. And we got another Macho Man, obviously, in the package. And then one of my favorites of all time. You can't go wrong with a little RVD with steel chair. I mean, I told you guys I don't fuck around with the collection.
In this magical match featuring Seth freaking Rollins and a man who has become his arch nemesis.
All right, take care. Thank you so much for your support. I might not have CM Punk as like one of my ultimate like favorites, but the theme song is undefeated, man. There's just certain songs that are in wrestling that are just so good, you know, compared to some of the others. Like no matter when you hear it, it kind of gets the hairs to kind of stand up. And I think that this intro is one of the best that's in WWE or wherever he's at. I love it. Great theme song. He's very, very controversial, you know, and whatnot, but he's good for the business, you know, whether it's in AEW or, you know, now back into WWE. Yeah, that one is good too. And it's sometimes, if you notice, certain wrestlers end up having like banger after banger, you know, music wise. Like sometimes, you know, certain individuals may be lucky enough to have one that kind of stands out, you know, music wise, or like, you know, when Jericho was using Judas, like there's just certain ones that, you know, when you hear it and then the energy, you know, you just, it kind of just puts you in a different type of mood and whatnot. And, you know, CM Punk will never be like one of my ultimate favorites. But I do have a couple figures of him that are loose from his time early in his career and whatnot. But I think as of like wrestling in WWE right now, that theme song is definitely one of the top 5 out of all the themes of all the wrestlers, male or female, today. Yeah. Yeah, especially Matt, you're a little bit younger, but man, if you got to watch RVD and ECW in his prime, man, you will be mind blown. I have never seen a wrestler as athletic as RVD when he was in his prime in ECW. Super entertaining with him and Sabu. All right, baby. CM Punk, Seth Rollins. And we're just about to get into almost 3 hours, 2 hours and 53 minutes. So supposedly the show was going to go for 3 hours and 30 minutes, but we'll see. Maybe it'll be more like 3 hours and 15 minutes or something like that. So, but I knew that the Hogan thing was going to happen at one point or another. We got that out of the way. And then now we got Seth and CM Punk. I love the camera angles that they got, the drone cameras, everything that they got, the different camera angles. Freaking cool. Like it almost feels like you're watching, like a movie or a documentary or something, with some of these camera angles. It's very cool. I'm loving this new Netflix era. Oh, yes. Yes, 100% agree. Me and Odin are big on the Brood. Yes. Edge, Christian, Gangrel. Let's go, baby.
Referee Rollins upon him, reading the riot act to Seth Rollins here. As again, he takes the fight to Punk outside the ring, and now CM Punk trying to bring Rollins toward the table. And now Seth Rollins gonna send Punk into the
Yeah, but over the years, I've always wanted to kind of show, but we didn't really have anything I could have enough time to really show you guys kind of some of the gems, and some of the collection and whatnot. But today was a good day. You guys got to see, for the people that missed the stream or were busy, they can watch a replay. But I mean, just in this stream alone, I've already showed you, a sample of what I got. So absolutely. You know what I do?
middle of the WWE universe. These two legends are battling it out.
Definitely Wolfpack. I mean, DX theme is great. Wolfpack, NWO Black and White. But that Wolfpack, though. Boom, 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 boom. All right, 1-1, Devils and Kraken, knotted up. Yeah, but I'll never stop watching wrestling, and I'll never stop collecting. But again, the one thing that I think I kind of, wish I could do is like open up some of my like box sets that I have from like the 80s and 90s that has multiple figures in there, as well as like rings and then the cage accessory. If I was a kid and I had that stuff, shit, I probably wouldn't even go to school. I'd be like, fuck to school. I'm just going to fuck around with all my collection and whatnot. But, maybe one day. But again, it all depends on the value of it and whatnot. But, man, if I had a ring, I had a ring growing up and I had some of the figures and everything. But if I would have had a cage accessory when I was a kid, shit, you wouldn't even see me. I was playing video games and I was outside, playing football, baseball, basketball. But, yeah, you probably wouldn't see me for a while if I end up having something like that. Original Bray, yes, agreed. Oh yeah, little Latino heat. Eddie is one of my favorites of all time. Always will be too. Oh, big stiff kick to the face there to Seth Rollins from CM Punk. We're at 60, 40 to go. Yeah, the first female that actually could have wrestled the dudes. With China and obviously, X-Pac and Triple H and Shawn Michaels. But for me, it was always about the Road Dogg, Jesse James, and badass Billy Guns, the New Age Outlaws. That's really what gave them the swagger. Like, you had Triple H and you had Shawn Michaels and you had X-Pac and you had China, but I think that, we were listening word for word with the New Age Outlaws. And I actually have New Age Outlaw figures too. Pretty rare. I got a Road Dogg and I got a badass Billy Gunn. I only have one of each. They're loose, but I have them. There you go. As you can see, a tail in the background. Paisley is. Lay down, honey. Lay down, honey. Good girl. All right. Paisley is all settled in now here. Possibly.
We give you one night for $20 a month when you bring your own phone. That's 50% off the base 5G unlimited plan. Not bad. Stack that. We locked your price for 5 years. Stay home. So thank those guys, right? We've got you covered. Get the facts. Then switch to Total Wireless.
But I miss this era, man. I really do. And he's had some of the most like iconic, ring gear, with this particular ring gear. And, obviously we know some of the WrestleMania choices that he's had. But it's like, you don't miss, man. Like, and then they had the black and the white, the black and the yellow, like this. Everyone remembers this particular era.
Underdog has over 5 million fans all over the U.S. New customers sign up and deposit now to get up to $1,000 in bonus frame.
Same time next month? Okay.
Who's that?
Oh, just an annoying subscription.
He sucks. You gotta get rid of it.
I know, but he's just so hard to cancel.
Just download Rocket Money. You cancel subscriptions you don't want right in the app, and it might even be able to get you a refund on some of the money you lost. Download Rocket Money today.
Anything specific that you want to be able to see Reefer after the match is over or during a commercial break that we have like right now? That gives me an opportunity to throw photos up for the people that donated at the very least. Let me know, brother. Let me know, brother. NWO for life, brother.
On Monday Night Raw, he takes up his arch nemesis, Seth Rollins, who said that he must, quote, express the demon from my soul in this match tonight. Oh, very similar individuals.
35-32 FCS championship won by North Dakota State over Montana State. Yeah, like I said, for me, the only time I got kind of teared up was Macho Man and Elizabeth and Scott Hall. That's it. I mean, those are two of my favorites, you know, at the very, very top. I mean, I got a lot of guys, you know, and as well as the females that I've really enjoyed watching in going from a young child to a grown man. But, you know, I have a very strong connection to Macho Man and Scott Hall.
The architect. Yeah, but again, that emotion by Rollins. Again, running high knee from Punk. Another one from CM Punk. Punk went for the bulldog.
Went for the bulldog, but then took him into the ropes, and then a clothesline. Double axe handle. Spinning neck breaker. All right, CM Punk. You let me know, baby. Woo! Wrestling toys are undefeated, man. It's like they never lose. They never lose. You know the value, and again, even the accessories are worth a shitload. Like I got a Mankind dumpster that came out with a figure way back in the day, and then inside I got fucking brooms, extra microphones, toilets, you know, whatever you can, you know, any type of accessory that WWF had back then, and you'd be so shocked. Like every little accessory is worth like $10 or more. It's like a fucking gold mine. Like the whole dumpster is filled to the top with like accessories, you know, and obviously, you know, fans that are old school like me and young, you know, if you're playing with wrestling figures or displaying them as a collector, that's what you want, the extra things, you know, brooms and extra mics and chairs and, you know, announce tables, whatever it is. Seth? Oh. Damn, hit him with the GTS. Joker Sting.
No, right on the forehead. Two. Salute. Maybe it's sleep. Get outside the window, officer can't get out there. I don't know if he got out of the momentum out of that. True.
That's like TNA Sting. Is that what you're shooting for?
CM Punk outside his Los Angeles Serenade.
And almost like a regular version, and then an Impact. Good choice. Like Impact, TNA, like that old school era. Let's go. TNA, Joker, Sting. I agree. Oh, good counter. Another GTS. 2. Yeah. And it's kind of funny too, because out of all of the figures that I have from the Toy Biz line, this, is so dope. Like, it's like, I don't know, like the head moves up, the arms go out. Like, this was a little bit better than some of the other ones, based off movement. Like, it doesn't ever get old. You know what I mean? It's just like toys like this are the shit that I live for, like just the flexibility and this, just the uniqueness of it. I mean, it doesn't get any fucking better than that. Yeah, I agree. I mean, shit, when I was growing up, I mean, I saw Sting when he was like, real American hero, with red, white, and blue face paint, like the face of WCW. Seth? Uh-oh. Pedigree, but didn't get all of it. Was that a little paying homage to Triple H there? Another pedigree. You love KO? Me too. 2. I don't know. I always have this thing for like the Canadian wrestlers too. They have a certain type of swagger and move set, and they're always good on the microphone, for the most part. Maybe not as much Bret Hart, but I always like the Hart Foundation, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, Bret Hart, Owen Hart. I love Sami Zayn. I love Kevin Owens. Basically just got up and looked at me. All right, hold on one second. I got to let her out. All right, Paisley is going to go explore the house a little bit. She does. Once we end up streaming for more than like a couple hours, she gets, she misses Dad. I mean, I spend every single minute of my day with her, so. Yeah, I love me some Kevin Owens too, a lot. A guy that, that him and Seth got disrespected so much, over that time period where they didn't have belts, and both guys, should have had gold around their waist, and obviously they had to create a new belt for Seth. But what about Kevin Owens? You know what I mean? Like, and it doesn't have to be something like, tag team with Sami Zayn, and belts like that. Like, no, Kevin Owens deserves to have a singles title. Seth got CM on buckle. Got him with the stomp too. Brett, yeah. Lenny D is a Shawn Michaels guy, but me and Sarah and yourself, we're more Bret Hart people too. The excellence of execution, He made pink and black cool, giving away the shades to the kids, and just so smooth in the ring, And again, I know most people are Shawn Michaels, but again, I was always, like out of my friend group, I was like the only one that was like Bret Hart more. No disrespect to Shawn Michaels. He's amazing at, the Rockers with him and Marty Jannetty, and then going with the singles run. Amazing, and then obviously going into DX and everything that Shawn Michaels, HBK did, but again, we all have our favorites and we have a connection, maybe more to certain types, but I'm kind of in that same boat. So yeah. And this is a statement only you will say, but that is debatable. And I don't know if we would go greatest wrestler of all time. He definitely is in the category of one of the greatest, but only greatest to you.
The visionary, the revolutionary, the architect set follows. The second city safe, the voice of the voiceless, the ever controversial CM Punk.
And I'm not even really sure that there's like one wrestler that we can put, as the greatest. I mean, there's a lot of guys that have, made their mark, in wrestling, but. Oh, nice superplex. Hang on to him. Oh, counter by CM Punk. Oh, got him. Got him with the GTS. Oh. You going to do it again? The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. I didn't really like Bret's WCW run. He should have stayed in WWF, but. Wow, CM Punk beating Seth? What the fuck? Oh, my. 2 GTSs? So we ended up getting a belt change, and Ripley ended up beating Liv, and Punk beating Seth. Wow. I mean, you never know what they're cooking up there with creative with Triple H. It's like anytime we feel like we have a pulse on this, Triple H era and we can predict what's gonna happen. Like, we don't know what's gonna happen. Like, sometimes it goes as to what we, predict, but then other times they throw us a little curveball, on the winners and whatnot, and I kind of like it. It doesn't end up always being the guy that we want to win. Like, obviously I want Drew to win, but him going to SmackDown and losing makes sense. But, you're not going to make every fan happy, but wow. Wow, they're already rolling the credits. I thought they said it was going to go 3 hours and 30 minutes. Oh, Seth is bleeding too. Yeah, I agree. Wow. It pretty much went the same time limit as if it was on cable. I was hoping that we would have a little bit more. I mean, I don't want necessarily just a bunch of bullshit, but that part was a little bit of a letdown and whatnot. But wow. I mean, they could have at least, had it keep going, and then they could have did like backstage interview. They could have had the New Day talk, or, kind of go through like a, video collage of, all the big moments that happened and whatnot. But then once you go to it, it just ends, and then it goes off. Wow. Well, it was a great show, to say the least. Reefer, is there anything else that you want to see photo wise? That is true. Well, he that's for you personally, because you look up to him and whatnot, and that's your guy, and that's understandable, right? And stuff. But I'm not really sure if we can ever. I mean, there's so many that you could put in a category of being, one of the greatest or the greatest of all time. Anything else that you want to be able to see wrestling wise? How do I go to the post show? Is it still on Netflix? Then why did it boot me off? How do you go to it? Do I have to look it up? Because when I was on it, it booted me off, and then it just went to my main menu.
My name is Walter Hart.
Can I click on it and I can? No, I don't have any post show on my end. It's not showing anything on my end. Oh, YouTube. Okay. I was gonna say it's not on Netflix. They just cut me off on there. All right, hold on. All right, and then what do I need to just type in Monday Night Raw? All right, here we go. WWE Monday Night Raw. And then where is it? Oh, here we go. Monday Night Raw Netflix premiere post show. All right, let me turn that on. All right. You good? Okay, I got it on YouTube now. I agree. I agree. Yeah. And he's putting in the work. Yeah. And obviously, being relevant. Yeah. So post show on YouTube. And again, I'm glad that I was able to hang out with a lot of you guys that are regulars, and hopefully we'll get some of the other people that love football, baseball, NASCAR, basketball, or NHL, whatever, and then they can realize, how much that we really do enjoy wrestling here. And I hope you guys got a kick out of my collection or some of my collection. But again, when I consider myself a professional collector. I'm not just some amateur collector. You got to think I'm 42 years old. I'm going to be 43 in May. I've been collecting since I was, 3, 4, 5 years old. And I feel that with some of the things that you have seen, it definitely is evident of that. So, and I hope to be able to share some of my other collectibles that I have to kind of show you what I got, baseball, basketball, football, hockey, wrestling wise in the future. But keeping it themed, obviously, it was pretty cool to be able to get you guys tapped in, and also you guys can share with me some of the things that you guys have and the things that you're into. So shout out to all the people that sent me messages with the different collectibles and whatnot, like Odin's son, Reefer. Appreciate you guys very, very much. Oh, and I'm looking at some of these. Ooh, limited Ultimate Edition 25. Oh, wow, look at these. Holy cow. Look at the list on those ones. I'm just looking at the little links that you sent me. Oh, great Muda. Ooh, that's cool. Wow. I really, really enjoyed everything with you guys. Again, I have to take Paisley for a long, long walk and obviously get kind of settled in. But this was fun. And again, we're going to end up, doing this on the regular. Now, next Monday, we have a decision to make. We're going to either do the Rams and the Vikings, the NFL playoff game, or we can do Monday Night Raw again. I'm going to watch both at the same time. But honestly, normally, NFL and college football kind of take priority. But like I've said this in the past, I loved wrestling and NASCAR just as much as baseball and football. And, it's right up there at the top. I mean, I love NASCAR. I love, wrestling. So, we'll probably do the NFL game just because it is the Rams and the Vikings. But then after that, if we don't have any more football games on Monday, then we can continue to do these Monday night live streams on Netflix on Mondays. And I love it, man. It's a great time to be, and they're putting on a great show on top of it. So it gives us a chance to kind of vibe and go that route. But thank you to every single person that liked, donated, commented, and shared. Megan with a 20, Odin with a 10, Reefer with a 30. You guys are the best. I love you. And then we're going to take Wednesday off. And then I don't know if we're going to do a stream tomorrow or not. If I do a stream tomorrow, there's really not a whole lot to do. I might end up doing like college hoops. I might end up doing Duke since that's kind of been the go-to that I've had as a filler stream. But I don't know. I might just take Tuesday and Wednesday off. But if I do a stream tomorrow, it'll probably be, Duke basketball for like, an hour and a half, 2 hours. And I think it starts around like 4:30 Pacific tomorrow. And then no stream on Wednesday, college football playoff on Thursday and Friday. And then obviously Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, NFL playoffs. So we're going to be busy, from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. But again, coming up tomorrow or Wednesday, I'm taking the day off for sure. We just have to see if I'm going to do college hoops or not tomorrow. But we'll see what we end up doing. So, Rock is supposed to be on NXT. That could be something. I just don't really know if that would be worthwhile, but we can always, kind of talk about it and whatnot. But I love you guys and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Thank you for all the support. I really enjoyed the show. I hope you guys enjoyed the background, the thumb, and obviously the collection. And thank you guys for spending time with me with Monday Night Raw. And I think that this has been a success. You guys are the best, and I love you. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Thank you to everyone, and I'm out. Gang.